Is it okay? Are you okay?
I'm not okay. I am not okay.
Annie,
Yeah,
are
what day
you
was the
okay?
last? What was the last day that we did the replay review?
7 days ago,
What day is today?
the
I can't
25th.
alt tab. My screen is stuck.
The 25th.
25th is today. Okay, so everything after the 18th. Enchantress. Okay, yeah, 21st and onward. Okay. Yeah, we don't have that many, but people put a lot in.
Cool. Good shit.
People usually put a lot in as it's going. I need to keep track. I need to write what
Remember, we need to tell people that you're done, right? Like, you have to put it in beforehand, and if it's not there, then we won't take it. Because we don't want it to just go on forever and ever and ever, right?
Yeah, true. But I guess the only thing is we didn't set that as like a precedent, so we might have people like waiting today.
Sure.
They were thinking like, oh, I'm gonna submit this replay when they're doing it.
Right. I mean, that's fine. We'll
Let me just go through and I'll write down the people who we did replay review for.
All right. Sounds good.
I forgot to do that last week because I was like struggling to do the stream. Okay, so starting in July. So I think you did it at the start of July without me, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And you said those don't count.
Yeah.
Because it was just like on your personal channel.
Yes.
Okay, so let me look. Giori, David, just call me David. He changed his name. Hiruma, Kanye Northeast. This is like the funniest name.
I know.
Of course, Oculano submitted one. He always submits. Shiki, Eddie Mercury, Justin Ash. I love that we always have like the same people. Like that, it's been the same people. Yeah, it's like increasing in people. You know, there's new guys, but I love that we have some of like the people that have been here forever, like Justin Ash, Half Gemini, Loey Val, Kanye Northeast, Giori, obviously,
and they're getting
awesome.
better. That's the best part, is that they are legitimately getting better.
Great. That's good. All right. Okay, so yeah, I'm caught up. I'm caught up to.
All right. Cool. Well, we've got 21 people in here. Let's just take a look at this game.
Dude, I love that we're getting Enchantress replays. This is my fucking favorite hero. This is probably my best hero over Pudge, honestly. I love this hero, man. So I love that we're getting. I can tell you everything about Enchantress, man. Everything. So these are gonna be easy for me. No problem.
This is gonna sound weird to say, but I think that 1437's talent choice is incorrect. Like, who am I to say he's a pro player? But he went for 8 HP regen when he could have taken 150 cast range. I feel like there's literally no reason to take 8 HP regen if you already have Tranquil Boots, and your entire purpose is to be able to save your teammates with Soul Rip. Am I wrong?
I just know that people have like different opinions on the Undying talent at level 10. Like some people think that the 8 HP regen is good.
I mean, I'm not saying.
I was in a game. I was in a game with Fly, and I think like Husky or something asked about what's the correct choice for Undying, like literally that very question, and Fly said 150 cast range, like every time.
That's what I feel like. I mean, your purpose as a 5 Undying is to sit in the back and heal people.
That's a lot of a cast range, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of cast range on a hero that will build, like, you'll probably build Force, you'll build Glimmer, like, you'll build items that have, like, the cast range increase works on them.
It's actually really good for Tombstone, too, because you can, like, put it up cliffs that you might not normally be able to reach, you know?
Yeah.
That stuff's pretty important sometimes. But this looks like Pain is just arc wardening them, like, pretty hard. HFN. This guy is a fucking beast, actually.
Wait a minute. Give me a second to process this here. Is fucking Pain beating J-Storm?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're smashing them, too. This is one of those...
J-Storm's going to TI, right?
No. Forward.
No, forward.
AKA newbie. Forward is newbie now. Did you see that?
Yeah, but J-Storm was in the finals to go to TI.
Yes, that's correct. So was Pain though. They lost to Infamous to go to TI. Right. So Pain almost qualified also. I
scrimmed Pain.
They're fucking good.
2 games. They're really good. But I'm very proud that the games we lost both of them, but the games were like solid games. Like they were close.
That's actually an interesting point. So you laned against HFN. What do you think about him as a player? Like one-on-one in lane?
I mean, lanes at like a high level are usually like you're gonna win or you're gonna lose.
Right.
And then like nothing really like stands out to me.
Right, I mean, because but then there's people like Sumail where it's like, oh fuck, I'm laning against Sumail,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, nobody on Pain is like so far above. Like Pain is generally just all of their players are really high skill. So and nobody like stands out above, and they never really like they do give HFN a good game usually, but it's
he's just a good farmer. He's a good farmer, like.
They honestly play pretty normal Dota, where you just pick like 2 decent late game cores and go late. Like they don't really do at least from when I played them. Like it didn't seem like they did the whole HFN solo carries them sort of thing. It's just that they play the game and he'd happen to be the hero that gets like the most farm.
Sure, yeah, I would say they're a little bit of an interesting case because they have 2 offlaners, right? Because Theolicor used to be an offlaner. He was like the 2nd or 3rd best Brazilian offlaner, and then. Now, obviously, they also have Lelis, who's going to play.
Dude, there's
off-lane.
good Brazilian offlaners, dude. There's Lelis, there's Tavo.
Yep.
Theolicor. I didn't know Theolicor was an offlaner.
Yeah, back in the day, I'm pretty sure he was.
I just don't remember. I think there's quite a few Brazilian players that don't play all that much on NA servers, and also there's people you play with that just like have their name set to some like pseudonym, so you don't know them by their actual name.
Yeah, I wonder what it is. Like, so if you go to Peru, might be super generalized, but I feel like if you go to Peru, everybody there can play mid. Go to Brazil, you got a ton of carries and a ton of offlaners. I feel like the mids in Brazil are not necessarily like that top tier, for the most part.
I don't know any like really solid Brazilian mids.
That's kind of cool. Yeah. I really like that, how there's like different regions will have different strengths. It makes Dota so interesting.
Peru is like super flashy players. Brazil is like consistent players.
Yeah.
Like is HFN flashy? Not really.
No.
Is he consistent? Are you fucking kidding me?
Super.
He's the most consistent.
He's like the Brazilian Arteezy in that sense. He's just like
he's like the Brazilian
or like Fear almost.
Something like that. Like Fear like a couple of years back.
Yeah. Fear as a carry back in like the TI5, TI6 era.
Yeah. Oh, Brazilian Resolution, something like that. Like TI Resolution.
Right. Damn, Pain put it down. Took down J-Storm.
That's interesting. Good for them. Sometimes a team is just not on the ball, and your team is on the ball, and you just beat them when you shouldn't. You don't look at this matchup and be like, yeah, Pain's going to win this. Like, Pain should get dumpstered by J-Storm. I personally think if this was the old J-Storm, they would get dumpstered. I think when they picked up 1437 and 9, they became shittier. I don't mean to be like a dick, just being straight up. Like, it seems like they haven't really like figured out how to mesh as a team with like these players for whatever reason.
Completely agree. If I look at this team right now, I see 5 extremely experienced, extremely good, 4 extremely experienced, extremely good players, and 1 potentially extremely good player who's less experienced, but he's surrounded by enough experience to like it doesn't really matter. But I don't see a team. I just see 5 players who are good that are together in like an organization.
Yeah, before you had like, Moo and Marge who had played together a lot. Yeah. Who else was it that they had?
I mean, back in the day they had like SVG. Like, how far back do you want to go? Are you talking about like the Fear Milan?
Didn't they
back when they had Milan on the team?
I know they had Milan, but when they got Fear, they definitely got better.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Fear.
Who was the 5?
Forev. Yeah, they had Forev.
It was Forev and March. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that team was good because Forev and March are very close. Solid. Yeah, totally. Oh
yeah, then Moo switched to offlane, and then Resolution switched to carry from mid, right?
No.
Yeah, Fred was off lane, Moo was carry, Resolution was mid.
Who was their mid? No, they had a different.
Resolution. Oh, Bryle?
It was Bryle. Yeah, it was Bryle. Rezo wasn't on this team initially. Or no, he was the carry. He was the carry.
Was he the carry? I know Moo was off lane. Or sorry, Moo.
No,
Moo
was the carry. Rezo wasn't on the team, I don't think. It was it was Bryle, Moo, Forev, March, Fear. That lineup was pretty good.
Yeah, that was a solid lineup. Well, let me look. So, Bryle and March got replaced. I think they were better with Bryle and March.
I completely agree.
And then before that, they had Forev. Before that, they had Jimmy as a 5 for a bit. Yeah. And now he's back to coach.
Yep. Yeah, man. I don't know. Like, Resolution, he is an incredibly good carry under pressure. Like, on the big stage, it seems like he's a very good lane carry. But I honestly haven't been impressed by him at all this season. Like, I feel like when he was on forward, he never really did anything that was great. And that's just me being honest. Like, and obviously he's a much better player than me, but comparing to any of the other top tier carries, like, because I feel like coming out of maybe TI6, TI7, people are like, Resolution might legitimately be the best carry player in the world because he was able to take this team who seemingly was much lower tier than they actually placed at TI and pulled them up, right?
Yeah, that was when who did he stand? He was standing in, right?
Yeah.
He stood in for who was it? Empire? That was in 2017 when he stood in for Empire. And they got to 7 through 8.
Yep.
Yeah. That was they won like way more money and shit than they should. Let's see who was on Empire.
Dude, he legitimately solo carried like 3 or 4 really important games.
Yeah, I remember that. He was 100%. Okay, that roster was Resolution, FN, Ghostic, Roger, Mipashka.
Okay, that's a pretty good team.
Good roster.
That's a pretty good team. But they like empowered him to be like this hyper carry. I remember this one Void game where he was like 35,000 net worth. The next highest person was like 22,000, and he was literally just walking around the map with a Shadow Blade, solo killing like 2 or 3 people at a time with Chronos. It's fucking nuts.
Illidan coached VGJ Storm?
What?
Yeah, Illidan coached VGJ Storm at TI8.
How strange.
And that is really weird. In TI8, VGJ Storm was Yawar, Resolution, Snaking, MSS, SVG.
Yep.
And then that team split off into like Forward, and then New J Storm with March.
Yeah, what's SVG doing these days? He's like not even coaching anybody, right? He's just gone.
I think he's taking a break from Dota. I think that's what he said he was doing.
That dude is so smart. He is like he's like a gem of a mind.
I'm kind of shocked that he chose to retire.
Yeah.
I mean, he made $256,000 in his Dota career. Like, if he did that for a couple more years, he's probably a millionaire, right?
Yeah, I mean, he also got some money from coaching EG, I'm sure.
So, okay, yeah, this is just winnings. So, like,
right.
He retired after placing 7th through 8th at TI8, and then he placed 9th through 10th in the Kale Major, and then he retired.
Yeah.
So right before he retired, he made like $200,000 or something.
Hey man, like if you're intelligent,
and he was just going up.
His stock was definitely going up. I think people are really recognizing him as like a upper echelon captain. But at the same time, it's like if the passion's not in it, maybe who knows what happened in his personal life. Maybe he got into like a serious relationship and wanted to stop traveling. Maybe his family stuff. If you make $250K for playing a video game, you can fucking live off that for a long time if you're smart. And he's definitely a very smart person.
True. No, I think it's probably like the Merlini sort of thing where it's like he's not retiring because he's not doing well. He's retiring because he just wants to do something else.
Totally. That's legit.
Which is interesting. Which is definitely legit. You know, at some point, I don't want to be doing Dota shit anymore. I don't want to be doing potentially video game stuff anymore. I'm probably going to do it for 10, 20 years or some shit. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be in the gaming industry. But at a certain point, you just you move on in life. You just have a different interest. Maybe I'll start like a horse farm or an alpaca farm.
I'm not going to lie, man. Like, I think my dream is to live just like in a cabin in the woods near a mountain where I can go snowboarding in the winter. I want to go fish. I want to play music, and I want to build stuff. I really like working with like wood. I did some carpentry for a couple of years in Colorado. Love that shit. Just like building stuff. Super fun.
My dad's got a pretty sweet life. He chills. He's got a nice house out in the country. It's like 80 acres. So I was just there shooting the other day. Like, we got a little rifle. We set up targets because like there's nobody around forever, so right. You can just do whatever the fuck you want there. I mean, we have licenses. It's all legal. It's not like we're illegally shooting. But, he set up like his own little range there. You can shoot. You can ATV. He fucking loves mowing the lawn because it's this big lawn. He gets to ride around on his tractor.
It's all just meditative stuff, dude.
It is. It really is. He sits outside, and they have this little, like, they built their dream home, basically, with, like, all the money they had. So there's this, like, back little balcony or, like, patio that he has that is, it's got, like, nets, so, like, bugs can't get in. And you can just sit out there at night. You could hear a fucking feather drop. Like, it is so dead quiet other than nature and so dark that if there's like moonlight or even starlight or like a planet, it's blinding. Like, you can go out there and see shadows from Mars. Like, you can see Martian shadows because of the brightness of Mars in the trees. Like, it's that dark and out in the country.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean, dude,
that's fucking cool. I understand. I would not be able to live out there for a long time because the internet sucks and I got to do stuff. But if you're chilling and you just want to meditate all the time and just live life and enjoy life,
feels good.
That's great. Yeah, I envy him.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you're talking to somebody who grew up in a 10,000 person town, like in the middle of fucking Iowa, nowhere. So I totally feel that. You just drive out in the countryside in the cornfields. There's no light pollution. You just lie out there, look at the stars. You can literally see the entire Milky Way. It's crazy.
Yeah, that was what was shocking to me the first time going out there, is actually seeing the arm of the Milky Way.
Right. Yeah.
Like, legitimately seeing like the adjacent arm of the galaxy. Man, I didn't know that was there, dude.
Yeah, you're like, oh my god, I am so tiny. That shit is nuts. And then it just kind of makes your life feel like a painting or something like that. It's like, I don't know. I love that. I love the perspective altering types of things, like experiences.
You can look at that in a really depressing way, but I think most people see it the positive way of like, your life is so insignificant. But that means that you can just kind of do anything you want. It doesn't really matter. And no matter what anybody does, it doesn't really matter. Like, okay.
Here we go.
Before we get into the replays, Ellie was telling me about how her grandma on her mom's side was a midwife, which is essentially just somebody who births babies.
Yep.
And apparently at her funeral, God rest her soul, there were a lot of people that were like, she literally birthed me, like so many people who she dramatically impacted their life. And we just kind of got into this concept of the fact that as long as you are spending your time in a day productively and not just completely wasting your time, generally speaking, you are going to have the same impact when you look at the grand scheme of things as anybody else, almost anybody else. We're all a cog in the giant system of the world and of the universe too, if you want to extend it out that far. So for example, I was using Arteezy as an example. He impacts a lot of people because he plays Dota. People watch him, people like him, people are entertained. It makes their life a little bit happier. A lot of people and very little, but a lot of people. Whereas Ellie's grandma was a midwife. She very literally birthed people. So she had a huge impact on a few people's lives. So it's like, just because Arteezy and her grandma are different doesn't mean that they don't generally have the same impact. It's just one has more of an impact on less and the other has less of an impact on more. Like, basically, if you're spending your time productively in the world, you will just have an impact. And then you could also scale it out and say that, there's the butterfly effect. So as long as you have a teeny tiny impact, if you extend the duration far enough, it will result in a massive impact. The whole concept of stepping on a butterfly and stopping humans from existing. Like, if you were to go back in time and step on a butterfly, it might result in a tiny flap of air not hitting a branch, which, there's this like chain effect. So essentially all I'm saying is that if you are doing something in the day that is just generally productive, you have literally nothing else to worry about. Nothing else. Because your impact will be the same as Arteezy's, as fucking Taylor Swift's, as a doctor's, as a lawyer. When you look at the entire picture, you will have relatively the same impact. Maybe it's like minorly different, but it's going to be relatively the same. And the farther out you extend it, the more the same it's going to look, because that's just the nature of infinity.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that mostly. I feel like there's definitely a lot of people on the planet who have no impact or possibly negative impact as well. But I think that you can...
Right, but that's why I weigh in productivity to the whole concept.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
It's like, obviously you have to then define what productivity is, which gets more complicated. But in order to like keep it simple and obvious to everybody, it's like we just say, all right, generally we'll just say you're like a good person and generally productive, and you just go about your day. You're gonna be good, man. Just be happy. That's it. Just be fucking happy.
Fair enough. Throw me that first replay, son.
Okay.
You guys thought you were tuning into a Dota fucking stream. How wrong you were.
Dude, Dota is life. Dota is absolutely life. Is Monkey's Forever playing Razor offlane? Is that what I'm watching? Broodmother, last pick. Ritsu, last picking Broodmother.
Is that Jubei 6X?
No, that's Ritsu Smurf.
Right. AKA Jubei 6X.
Yes.
Alright. We got an Enchantress replay, huh?
So this is J00. Void was being uncooperative and generally playing his own game. Who cares? Making it hard to play around. I think my items were a bit fishy. Maybe I should have won MKB, Silver Edge. Early game was a little rough, but I came out of okay. Mid game I did well. Late game I was having issues where PA was essentially able to 1 to 2 shot me with a lucky dagger or two. Generally looking for what I could have done in the mid game and late game to win this game. Feel free to hit me hard. My feelings won't be hurt. But I'm also new at playing Enchantress. I've been more so trying to go for that. In coaching recently, which by the way, if you're looking for coaching, https www.coachbin.com/Jenkins. Hit me up. But anyway, I've been
just throw the link in chat, man. You can just throw it in chat. Be highlighted.
That's a good point.
Come on, dog. Don't you know how to market, motherfucker?
There. Check me out, boys. Okay. But I've been trying to like hit people hard because I really want people to get better, so they come back and pay me more money for coaching.
Also, most people need a little bit of tough love because they're so easy to tough love their teammates and blame their teammates. Like you're blaming Void right off the bat. Void was playing his own game. Oh, boo hoo! He wasn't playing Dota in solo queue Dota, even though we're not on a team being paid money to play together. Deal with it, motherfucker. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, I like it.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah. Philippines. Hello, Philippines from Canada and also America. Okay, so you starting items are not bad. Not bad. I mean, I would probably aim more for a salve. Like I think they're not bad though. They're not bad because you can heal yourself with the clarity. So it's kind of the same. It's just that Zero's got a really good mana pool already, so you only need like 1 or 2 heals and you're Gucci.
Okay, so he says early game was a little bit rough, mid game was okay, late game was where he's really having the issues. Where do you want to start with this? Do you want to do early game? Do you want to go just to the late game?
I mean, it's an Enchantress replay, so I could go absolutely, ape shit on probably every point of the game. So I'll just say, since we have another Enchantress replay after this, we can just skip to like the mid to late game for this one.
Okay.
I imagine, reading what you said, that there's going to be issues with itemization. That's just my first thought. If you're saying PA is two-shotting you, like, I don't think PA should be able to two-shot you if you build correct items.
Yeah. Okay. So we're 30 minutes in. And net
All right.
worths, you are
So-
5th.
So itemization, can you pause it for a second here? So I'm going to say right off the bat, itemization, it's absolutely not your job to deal with this PA. You're itemizing to deal with the PA, possibly because you feel like she counterpicked you and that you need to like deal with this counter to make your hero good again. Not your job. You have Nyx Assassin, who has Break that can take off the PA's evasion. You have Faceless Void, who's going to build an MKB, might already have one, so he's building one next. So you don't need to deal with PA. PA is going to be dealt with. You also have magic damage to deal with the PA. So you're wasting money building an item to deal with PA when it's already dealt with because you're playing your own game. So this is items that could be, you could have a hood, you could have components to a BKB, you could have a Solar Crest, which makes it so the PA can't kill you. Like there's a lot of items you get. Anytime there's a very, very heavy physical damage team on the enemy team, hero on the enemy team as an Enchantress, just build to be impossible to kill. That's the entire concept of this hero. Like you can build a Medallion, you can build Assault Cuirass, you can build a Shivas if you really want to. You can build a Heaven's Halberd, that's fine as well. Like just make your hero not possible to kill or you can't function in the late game.
Nobody has a Vlad's on your team either. It's a great item.
Vlad's is okay. The only thing is like, I don't know. Vlad's feels weird on Enchantress.
Sure, it absolutely does. The fact you don't have one against a bristleback, like 3 melee heroes, you're going to be hitting a lot. Like you've got heroes that take advantage of it.
Crest is probably your item.
Sure.
And AC, like you can build into plate mail and just keep the plate mail and go for other items and eventually build an AC. Plate mail is one of the best, most efficient items for like you build a plate mail, you're unkillable right now. Like plate mail hood and you just can't die.
Even a Lotus would be pretty good. You guys don't have any way to dispel track. Like having a Lotus is kind of nice for that. My only
problem with the Lotus is whenever you have like some Enchantress or Windranger in the offlane, I feel like if you're picking those heroes, you are trying to abuse partly the fact that they do a lot of like right-click damage in the late game. Like they have a specific purpose, and I feel like your other heroes, like your DK or your Crystal Maiden or your Nyx, should be building something like a Lotus Orb. Like your job as an Enchantress is to just keep yourself alive with like the most efficient items while also doing right-click damage. So if you can have some AC, which does both,
right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Really, or Solar, which does both. Like a Solar helps you kill people, makes you tanky, buffs up your team. Whereas like a Lotus is an exclusively defensive item, which is fine if you're like an Underlord, but if you're a Windranger or an Enchantress, it's way better to go for the things that do both, which is why Vlad's is also good on a lot of these like right-click heroes. It's just that on Enchantress it feels kind of weird because she's kind of not a right-click hero. She doesn't really benefit that much from like the lifesteal or the attack damage buff or anything like that.
Right.
I always turn that shit off. So yeah, your itemization is a big issue here that's getting you killed. You could also Yules is also pretty decent in this game. You can Yules off the BH track. You can Yules the snowball. You can Yules daggers if they jump on you. You can Yules Kunkka. You can Yules him to stop his X. You can stop his X combo on you if you use Yules and use it when he uses the boat. Bristleback, you can use it to like kite him. It's also a stun. You know, Yules is definitely like a really good item. I like that on Enchant.
Yeah, I mean, if PA jumps on you and you Yules yourself, then he uses all of the attack speed and like just completely nullifies PA too.
Also, go like if you really fuck up to the point where you're just dying in every fight, Ghost Scepter's always good. You have enough for a Ghost right now. I really think that this Bloodthorn does literally nothing.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It totally unnecessary in my opinion, because your Void is already going to have an MKB and you also have Break already, and then magic damage to kill PA. Like PA is not a problem in this game.
Let's be honest. Damage is not really a problem in this game. Like it's kind it's gonna be an issue at this point in the game, maybe, but it's really not the issue in this game. You have enough damage between your heroes, I would say.
I think you have a good amount of damage at like all points. Void's got a Battle Fury too, so he's gonna scale to do like ridiculous damage.
Yeah.
On his own. He can kill the PA. If you get like the CM ulti in the Void Chrono too, it's really good.
Yeah. And then your team just takes a fight at their tier 2 5v4 and loses the game because of it. Like, it's pretty simple.
I want to see what happens here. The problem with Enchantress is like she's a really snowbally hero. The moment you die a couple of times out of position or in a place that you like shouldn't be,
Do you buy back here, by the way? Like at this point where you get this kill on Bristleback, I feel like this is a reasonably good spot. Oh wait, you don't kill Bristle.
Sure, I mean you can buy back.
Like right here, Bounty Hunter dies, Tusk dies, Nyx buys back. I feel like you just buy back right now because Nyx has already bought back. But
is Chrono up?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, you can buy back if Chrono's up.
But this Void is very underfarmed right now.
He definitely is. That's because he went for a Battle Fury.
He went Midas Battle Fury.
Jesus Christ.
that's a huge issue. He's just never going to be online with that build. But yeah, I mean, here we are. You have the Orchid. Like, I think one really important thing about itemization to think about is as you're building towards mid and late game items, especially if you're not the hero that has access to all of the farm, you need to be really conscious of whether each item that you buy like legitimately positively impacts the game, especially if it's like a 2-part item like an Orchid. If the Orchid doesn't do magical things for you, then going for a Bloodthorn just doesn't make any sense because you're not going to get enough farm to actually get to the Bloodthorn at a reasonable time. And so you have an Orchid, but it's basically like 4,000 gold of nothing. It doesn't do anything for you.
Another item you could go in this game is Blink Dagger. Like Blink, just to like keep yourself alive through positioning alone. Blink is really good, and you can blink on the Tusk and then use Hurricane Pike on him and kill him from full HP. Probably also works on the BH.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a really nice item. That it's like a Ghost Scepter in the sense that it will allow you to survive, not like taking damage, but just like other ways. Like Ghost Scepter, makes it so you can't attack, but you're also immortal to physical damage for a period of time. Like, it doesn't actually make you tanky, just hard to kill. Blink Dagger is the same.
Yeah,
I would purge that from him. Like purge the
Crimson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget.
Thank God. The kid watching the Kunkka try to hit Enchantress is hilarious.
Yeah, Silver Edge is really not a counter to Enchantress. BKB is the counter.
BKB is the counter. Yeah, these people are ridiculous building a Silver Edge on PA. I don't know how you guys would lose this. I'm not sure how you lose this. Go back.
You go back. They killed PA. They're taking this fight.
Yeah, that's great. I don't know how they lose is what I'm saying. Like, you guys should take this fight, I think. Why is your guy dead? Why'd you let your guy die? PA's dead. You should definitely take that fight. Yeah, ignoring that guy is definitely the play. Until you have a Silver Edge on like Void. Or you break him with Nyx. Yeah, there you go. Now you can kill him. There it is.
Yeah, this looks like a good opportunity right now. Okay, so they buy back. It's still 3v2. Okay.
You definitely should just win the game right now.
They don't have Chrono, they don't have Mana.
There's a regen. What's the status on Roche? So it's a little awkward because you don't have
Roche
it's not
is
easy
not
to get
up.
that regen.
Probably you, right? You're fast, you don't have any mana right now. This guy gets crit. CM being a hero. Where's your Void? He's just gone. He's just farming creeps.
I'm sure this guy at some point should press time dilation on the on the Bristleback.
Yeah, this guy's just out of here.
God. Just dilate him.
There it is.
There it goes.
You got him for one. You got him for one stack of slow. I feel like you guys just kill him. Where's your Nyx? Hey, Nyx. All right, Bounty Hunter's back. You let your Crystal Maiden get picked off. You're fighting with no mana at all. You guys are extremely split. You have a stick or a wand. I don't know why you're not using it.
I don't even care about it. Like this all stems. This all stems from the fact that you let DK die for no reason.
Yeah, you guys were ahead, and then you just left your DK at the base. Then he died, and then you died, and Crystal Maiden died. None of you guys have buyback, so that's just the game right there. All right, let's move on to the next replay.
Okay.
By the way, I've got some apple cider that I just made myself.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. We've got 3 apple trees in our backyard, and they're just dropping apples constantly. You have to keep picking them up, otherwise it just turns into like a slushy out there, which is super gross. So I made some apple cider today, and it's fucking amazing.
Wish I had a backyard and plants that grew things that I could eat. We might get vegetables on our balcony, but
you
apparently
complaining?
it's what?
You complaining? Making excuses for yourself?
Excuses? What excuses? Excuse me, sir. I'm at 7.2k MMR player.
Excuse me, sir. How's that relevant to your in real life enjoyment and having a backyard?
I can't have I'm in an apartment. I can't have a backyard.
Yeah, so you're making excuses.
That's not what's happening.
All right, Jenkins.
We have another Enchantress. We're moving on. We have another Enchantress replay. High Divine / Immortal. I tried playing Enchantress right after the Dota Alchemy episode where you mentioned Enchantress being really strong. Tried to implement every tips you mentioned. Game was easy since I banned Lifestealer. Enemy picked Jug into Enchantress. It's not even that good. Neither is Lifestealer. Could have ended the game earlier, but team goofed around since we had such a huge lead. Oh my god. That's not good. That's always such a fucking sad way to lose.
Yeah. You're like, you stop, you're up like 25-5. Your team's just like, running into like 5 people one at a time because they're like, we can fight them by myself.
Oh my god, you doubled down. That feels so bad.
I guarantee.
All right, first and foremost, get the fuck out of your base, dog. You have a ward in 317 movement speed. Buy these items before the game starts, because look at the enemy Jug. He's gonna see you now if you ward. You're letting him rush to the place that you would get to ward before him. Look at the Jug. He's already there.
Yep.
All right, Donnie. I'm sure you can figure this out for fuck's sakes. What are you doing? Go to Jug.
No, you want me to actually go to the Jug?
Yeah, there he is. He's already there watching you ward.
Yep.
There it is. I'm curious as to why you didn't buy a salve.
Okay, so you gave your ward to the Rubik.
Oh my god. Fucking low immortal players and spamming chat wheels, dude. Name a more iconic duo. Alright, I would skill enchant to kill this guy. Nice, you did it. Now this is when you wish you had a salve. Because you skilled enchant.
Yeah, right. Because you don't have the heal for the first couple waves.
Yep. I don't know what happened with the bounties there. Did y'all get bounties?
Yeah, they got 2. They got the bottom ones. And they got 3. So they got 3 total.
Okay, cool.
I'm just going to let you go on this because I don't play this hero. And this is your role, so.
Okay. Buy boots. It's okay against a Jug lane. I sometimes buy like a chainmail first. Or I'll buy, like, if it's a heavy physical lane, but it's not. Like, you don't have much threat of dying, in my opinion. And the way they kill you is with spin, so you max out your heal. I would say what you want to buy first is not boots, because it doesn't do anything for you. You want to buy...
you're already faster than them, is the important point.
Yeah, you want to buy Robe of Magi, because it's going to give you extra damage, especially with the Blightstone that you have. Robe of Magi is definitely the play.
Uh-oh. Oh, look at that. You outran him. But,
I mean, you should be getting level 2 before him anyway. Like, you should be pushing the lane to get level 2 if you use the enchant at level 1. I mean, in general, on Enchantress, the whole thing that you want to do is, like, double wave your opponents. That's a huge thing on this hero. But yeah, you want to go Robe of the Magi first.
So you do that by tanking the creeps, or do you do that by killing the range creep as quickly as possible?
Tank the creeps and kill the range creep. Like, everything. Everything you can do to get more levels than them. Like, if you just get levels on this hero cannot lose lanes if you just have a slight level advantage. So why even bother giving them a chance?
Mhm.
Like, why bother? It doesn't do anything. Like, I swear to God, low immortal players just do the chat lines. They just do the chat wheel anytime nothing's happening. So annoying. Fuck, that triggers me. Passive aggressive joke saying thanks.
Tell me more. What else do you hate about low immortal players?
The fact that they take literally any team fight and they're really shitty at Dota, but then they like shit talk you when you're on your Smurf all the time, and shit talk everybody because they're immortal, so they think they're gods. But really, it's like that's just the last bracket where it happens to not have any more medals. Freaking pees me off, dude. I'm telling you, low immortal bracket is like the most toxic bracket there is. It's so toxic. It is unbearable.
I believe it. That's where the biggest like Dunning-Kruger effect is possible, right?
Precisely. I don't envy anybody climbing out of that bracket. That is an impossible bracket to climb out of. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. It's so much easier playing 7K games than it is playing like low 6K games.
I'm really interested to watch Henry now that he's immortal again. And the games have been super easy for him. I think he's like 95 and like 18 since he calibrated his account, something like that. And now he's at the immortal bracket where games are going to start to get a little bit more try hard and significantly more toxic. And we'll see whether he can keep his PMA together because he's been real PMA so far.
No, he's gonna lose his fucking mind. Dude, I played ancient games. People are not bad in ancient games. Like legit, you got normal people that have normal jobs and normal lives.
Yep.
And they're not like pseudo trying to go pro in Dota, like ruining their fucking lives to be like kind of low rated at a video game. You know, it's like people lose their mind in low immortal games.
All right. So are you impressed with this Enchantress play so far?
You're sitting on a lot of unused gold. I would buy those treads right now. Like, you get so much value out of treads.
Looks like he's rushing a Midas. How do you feel about that?
Not the play. Not the play. Like, the point of the Midas is you want to build into items that make you unkillable to the point where you don't need any other items to be unkillable. And then that's when you go for the Midas. And then Hurricane Pike. Like, you're still killable.
The point being that you can build just a couple of early game items that make you unkillable and still get a Midas before like 15, 20 minutes, right? And that's the whole idea.
Yeah, the Midas is for like not falling off.
Yeah.
That's what the Midas is for. So like you are in Enchantress's prime, so you don't have a risk of falling off. You get the Midas for the point that she could possibly fall off. And then you don't fall off because you have a Midas. So you'll, no matter how late the game goes, you'll still be cool with it because you have a Midas. Even if you can't do what you want to do on Enchantress, which is like just soak damage and soak ganks and like make space. Like sometimes you can't do that, but if you have Midas, you're chill with that. But at this point, you can definitely do all the things Enchantress wants to do. Right. I don't think going for the early Midas is good. You get way more from pressuring.
Yep.
This is like super greedy and very reminiscent, in my opinion, of shit that I see in like high divine, low immortal. It's just ultra greedy.
Yeah.
It's ultra greedy and valuing your greed over like what your job actually is in the game.
Right. Yep.
You're not supposed to, like, the damage from the Midas is cool and shit, but your whole purpose at this point is to get items that help you do damage and then also make you very tanky.
Right. I mean, here's the thing. Look at your team. Do you really need to carry them? You have a Wraith King and a Monkey King. Those seem like pretty strong carries to me. Seems like you have another job to do, and Midas is probably not the way to get there.
You will get more money off the map by being an unkillable beast in this top lane. Okay, also, the siege creeps just spawned. I want to see if this is fucked up, because this is like a very important moment, in my opinion. This is the first big mini game in Dota. Well, maybe the second big mini game. Third, actually, bounties are the first. Bounties kind of happen twice. But anyway, the siege creeps, very important timing. So you should take this tower off this siege creep. You should tank the tower for that creep. You should be tanking the tower, keep these range creeps alive. Okay, you forwarded it. I would run in and tank it and then heal yourself because you have 150 mana to spare, definitely. Like, if you can send a huge double wave at the tier 2 tower, it's better. Like, you're just sitting on mana that's completely unused right now. You may as well tank the tower and use the heal.
Yep, that all makes sense.
Think about it. You're sitting at literally max mana. You have 1.9 mana regen that's doing nothing right now. Why not allow that mana regen to have some effectiveness on the map? And then you have this massive double wave that you're sending at the tier 2 tower that you should not be letting die right now to the Jug who's spinning the wave down.
This guy's level 4. Yeah, you guys, you should be fucking running at this guy. He's literally level 4. He has absolutely no way to play against you.
So, let's see. Once this tower is dead, you obviously want to pressure the tier 2. You're letting the siege creep die to Jug right now, which is bad because he's worthless. Like, he killed the siege wave. Oh, no, he didn't because he's bad. He should have just spun and killed the wave and then killed the siege wave, but he's terrible, so he didn't. So now you're pressuring, but yeah, this should be a way bigger wave, and then you should also be up there, like, beating his ass. If you want to play this top area of the map, getting a shrine board is really good, but my opinion on Enchantress lately has been moving to the lane that the enemy team is pressuring is really good as well, but it doesn't look like they have any heroes that can really pressure at this point. If Omni was, like, dumpstering, you'd move to him, but all of your lanes are winning, so you're just really lucky to be in, like, an ultra game. Like, you guys are stomping. It's 6k gold lead at 10 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
You lose this if you throw. Like, there's been minor fuck-ups, but everybody's been playing like, relatively well, so you have a 6k gold lead. These games are, like, almost impossible to lose.
Did he lose this one?
I think so, yeah. He said that he lost.
No, they won.
Oh, they won. Okay, well.
Cool. Let's move on.
Well, yeah, I mean, you like, the enemy team made more mistakes than you, so you won. Congrats. You can buy null tallies. Yeah, your Midas should definitely be like a hood at that point, because they have a Sky mid. If you just... I'm surprised that they didn't just kill you with Sky.
Yeah.
Like, they can just grip you and blow you up with Sky Wrath.
Who knows? This guy only had 75 CS by the end of the game, so... Maybe he just got pooped on somehow.
You guys just stomped the lanes, and they had, like, a shitty, useless draft. So you won. But, once again, we talked about this at the start. I want to be honest with you, because I want you to gain MMR. You know, I want people to say, hey, Dota Alchemy coached us, and we gained MMR. Like, I don't want you to just stagnate just because it feels good to send us a win and me tell you how good you played. Like, you made fuck-ups. The things that we talked about, those are fuck-ups. And, like, if you play against better players, they're going to punish that. And you just won this game because the enemy team is bad.
How do you feel about these items? Like,
those are good items.
Not excluding the order in which they were purchased.
Oh, yeah, those are good items. I would say, like, Hurricane Pike is always really good. I think that's, like, a core item as to, like, why Enchantress is such a strong hero. The fact that you can, like, pike and then just kill the Skywrath Mage from, like, full HP, or even the Omni you can kill. Shadow Shaman is a really important kill. You can just use that on him.
Yep, makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, Lotus isn't bad. I don't think they have a lot of physical damage. I don't think the Lotus is necessary, to be honest.
They could get rid of the silence from the sky, would be my guess.
Yeah, but if you just have, like, have Hood plus the magic resist talent,
or a Hurricane Pike.
Or Hurricane Pike, yeah. And then go into, like, an eventual BKB. You don't need the Lotus to take stuff off of you. If people are using spells on you, that's good.
Yeah.
You want that. I guess you felt like you didn't really need damage because you've Wraith King, Monkey King, which is definitely like okay, but I also feel like you don't need the Lotus to be tanky.
Sure.
And being able to blow up the Shadow Shaman is, like, an incredibly effective way to win Dota. Pike is also really good against, like, you can break the Jug's Omni, you can break the Spirit Breaker charge, you can, if the Shaman is gripping somebody, you can force them away, and that's if Sky ults somebody, you can force them out of that too. Like, it's a really good item against all of their heroes.
Yep.
It's also just, like, the best Enchantress item in the game, so.
There is that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would say next week you should. I guess you submitted this because you just wanted an Enchantress replay, which I definitely understand. Like, you just, watch the Enchantress guide, so you want to see, like, how you did compared to, like, the guide. I'd say you generally played pretty well, but yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing. You're looking for positive reinforcement because you just watched the guide. So yeah, you did good stuff. You did good stuff for, like, what was going on in this game. You did good stuff. But I would say like the fact that you won every lane made this really easy for you. So it's hard to say like how you would have executed if you had a lane that was losing, and like how you should respond to that is really important on Enchantress, in my opinion. But you didn't need to make any rotations because you're just winning all the lanes. So you could just sit in a lane and farm and you'd be winning, which makes Dota really easy no matter what you're playing. But the laning wise, you played well. I like that you forwarded the creep wave. That's really good. But I think you can extend that further. That's the thing, is I talked about this in coaching with the Last Crusader, who I was coaching today. And basically the way learning Dota works at like a high level is you talk about or like learn a specific concept and then you like build on it. So like the idea of protecting siege creeps, people who just straight up don't do that are usually just like players that are ultra low rated. And then you learn these concepts and you do them at like some level, and then you're all of a sudden you skyrocket up in MMR because like the foundation of the concept is so important. But then you get these little increases in MMR by building on top of the foundation, such as like not only should you be protecting your siege creeps, why not protect your range creeps as well in sieging towers? Why not? If you can do it and it's free, why not? And make the next push even more effective, where they have to deal with it with 2 heroes instead of 1. You know, like maybe they lose the tier 2. Maybe they have to all TP in to defend the tier 2 because you did kill the jug. So what happens if you just push with a huge double wave and kill the jug and then pressure the tier 2? They have to TP the sky. Your team gets a mid tower. So you've gotten 2 towers instead of just getting 1. And it's not even the second tower that you siege with the siege creep. It's a forcing of a response. So I know that's getting kind of complicated, but that's Dota. It's like, once again, and then teams will get good at responding to that. So you need to get better at doing that without them like figuring out how to respond to it. And it's like there are levels, you know, it keeps building.
Right. And here's the thing, like that is what separates an immortal player from a divine, from an ancient, from a legend. Like the legend,
not an immortal player. The immortal players are like the foundation, in my opinion. Like if you have all of the foundations of all the important concepts in Dota, you will be immortal. That's like the baseline.
Sure. Like we saw him, you know, taking the tower with the siege wave. That might happen in like divine sometimes. It'll rarely, if ever, happen in ancient. It'll never happen in legend. And it's like each step along the way gets a little bit more. And then the difference between like a low immortal and a high immortal is that the high immortal will have the big wave for the next tower, like every single time.
Right. And then tier 2 players or like top 100, 200 immortals will know how to respond to people who are responding to it.
Right.
It's like there are levels, but in my opinion, from everything that I've seen smurfing and playing in like, you know, high rated games, I would say that if you have every single foundation for all of the important concepts in Dota, which there's not that much of, there's like 10 to 20 very important concepts, such as like, you know, siege waves, bounty runes, things like that, like how to control Roshan, when to take Roshan. If you have all of the foundations, you will be an immortal player. It's not that hard to be an immortal player because it's like what, 5,500?
I think it's all the way down to 54 right now, even.
And then top 100 is like 7,500, so it's 2,000 higher, right? That's not the same bracket. That's a different bracket.
That's like 3 brackets farther.
And then also it scales exponentially too, like skill with, or at least that's what Blitz always says, and Blitz is a good coach, so we'll just trust him on that. But like skill scales exponentially with MMR as well. So yeah, I really genuinely believe like getting immortal is something that everybody can do. Being a pro player, that's different. That's kind of hard. Most people can probably do it if you commit to it, but everybody can get immortal if you just know all of the foundations of the concepts. Anyway, I fucking went on forever on this one, but
it's fine.
Like when I tell people they can get immortal when I'm coaching, like I really mean that. I'm not saying that to get them to like pay for more coaching. It's like literally, I actually believe that. I've seen so many people get immortal from being ultra low rated.
Yep. All right, I got the next replay. Just tell me what he said about it.
Okay. Let's see. Coderad says, I know this is a winning replay. All right, time to shit on him. But my stats are terrible. My team is flaming me most of the game, and it's the standard gameplay routine I do on Shadow Shaman. Based on what my team was saying, my positioning was really bad. How can I improve my positioning? Additionally, what else can I do to increase my win rate with position 5 heroes? My win rate, Jenkins, your Discord is open. That's not me. My Shadow Shaman win rate is 44% out of 58 games. I'm definitely doing something fundamentally wrong if my win rate is this on this MMR. Thanks a lot. Okay, cool. That's a very specific question. I appreciate this specificity. Is that how you say it?
That is a word. Nice job.
Specificity. Yeah, that's good shit. Okay, pretty standard starting items on Shadow Shaman, I'd say, as a position 5.
Not bringing
So
a sentry to lane is really bad. You need to bring a sentry to lane if you're a 5, because if this camp gets blocked and you can't deward it for a couple of waves, you are the farthest lane away from the courier. And oh my god, the courier's already coming out 24 seconds into the...
I guess my question is also, why do you need a ward there against like an ogre?
So you're bringing the sentry out now on the courier at 24 seconds. That is so bad. That is really not good.
Yeah, most supports will start with the sentry.
Yep.
These days.
Also, put this ward needs to go here because you need to keep track of this rune. This is this is the most important power up rune because this one is easy to find.
Dude, I'm telling you, Donnie, I know why you're gaining MMR. It's because we're doing these replay review sessions and shit, and you're learning things.
I mean, that's definitely part of it. It's also because I've finally embraced my job as a position 5. Like I don't play other stuff. I used to switch roles like every week depending on what I wanted to play.
I'm teaching shit, because I'm learning these things from support.
I mean, absolutely. Analyzing games, you see all sorts of shit, and you're like, "Damn, I do that. That's bad." For sure.
Because the bottom rune ward, yeah, it's pretty important. That ward that you placed there, the one that got dewarded, unfortunately, that is usually what you place when you have some like really important hero to scout right next to you. It's gonna like kill you. Ogre's not that important. Like what Ogre's gonna do. He's gonna stand over there and hit you. He's like a melee hero. I don't think he's a good 4, honestly.
Yeah.
He's not contesting your void at all. Like you don't need to hit him.
Yeah,
it's a hard thing for void though. A bunch of dot damage.
Uh-oh. Are you dead? You're actually okay with this though, because your void's getting to solo lane. This is better than you standing in lane leeching experience, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree.
I also don't like this. I feel like if you're gonna run this far back, you should just run all the way back to your base because you're already.
You can go check the bot rune too. Like the bot rune's about to spawn.
Yeah, that's true. I wouldn't do this. This doesn't make any sense. Now you're dead.
Chasing a guy that's cutting the creep wave doesn't. Generally speaking, you don't really want to like when people cut the wave. There's very little you can do about it. That's just the problem. I know Ogre did it by accident, but that's just the problem with cutting waves these days. Is the fact that it's almost impossible to contest it.
Yep.
Jenkins, what can I do to get a replay review? Patreon.com/Dota Alchemy.
Yep.
Sign up for the $12 tier, and you will be put into a Discord channel that you can submit replays. Thanks for asking. Get the pull off. That's good. Although, let's see. Well, where's the creep wave at?
It's right in front of the tower,
okay.
I believe.
So what I would recommend, instead of doing the pull, since the creep wave is already good in front of the tower, you just want to double stack it. So that way when you do need to pull it, it's going to like annihilate the creeps.
Yep.
That's generally when you want to stack it, is when the creep wave is already good and you just don't want to be sitting there soaking XP from your void because you're a support. It's your duty to give him a good game. So I would say double stacking it there is going to be a lot better for you. And then next time you pull it, you're going to get an XP lead.
It's especially good this game because they block the hard camp as well. So doing this doesn't allow you to even pull through. So you can't clear this wave with a single small camp. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, stacking the small camp there is extremely good.
Ultra game winning.
Yeah.
People were complaining that speed says giga a lot. I want to start saying that. in videos as a meme.
That Reddit thread is just a fucking cesspool, dude.
Is that mean to do that? I just think it's funny.
I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can do no wrong. Everybody loves you. So, feel free.
I just gotta say something like inherently like racist or sexist. All people don't care about sexism. There's very little sexism in Dota. Oh, I guess there was that one time that Cyclops was like being really sexist against Axe, who, by the way, is an excellent player. I think she was in the qualifiers.
Yeah, she was on some team, some like was it maybe a newbie farm team, like newbie young or
Something like that, yeah.
Mr. Game Boy or something? I don't remember.
Dude, I looked at her Dota buff profile. It's fucking disgusting. Like 78% win rate or some shit. It's fucking ridiculous. Chinese pro players are crazy. It's like play party queue all the time with like literally pro stacks and just dumpster everybody. I wish NA had that culture. Anyway.
So I mean, I'm just talk for a minute because I've been playing a lot of 5. So I would say that you are at this place. This is a very important part. I put it in my recent video about stuff you can do as a support. This is a point. You're level 2. You're very underleveled compared to the other team, but that's fine because your Void is overleveled compared to everybody else. So
yeah, that's good.
That's what you want. But you also need to realize that because you're underleveled, this is not a lane where you can just walk up and trade with them. Even if you had a level advantage, it's still a tough lane to walk up and trade. So if something is hard to do, chances are there's a better option. And that better option is, number 1, to buy a couple of wards right now and a smoke to prepare to gank mid at some point. And number 2, you should probably be focusing on setting up in a place early to get the runes without taking any more damage because you have no regen currently, and so you want to make sure that you have enough resources to secure a rune or 2. And trading right now is going to put you low enough to the point where getting a rune is going to be extremely dangerous, and that's exactly what happens right here. Is you're like at 40% HP and you try and go get a rune and you end up feeding a kill in addition to 2 runes to the Viper, which is actually extremely game losing because you're giving your Void a pretty good lanes thus far by distracting the Ogre so much, but right there you just fed the Viper enough gold to make him a threat to your Void.
Yeah, I would say if you don't have resources, then going for like their aggressive bounty rune well before the Ogre runs over to contest it is pretty cool. Like that's a solid play. One thing that I do want to say that I've wanted to say on some video on this channel for a long time, and I'm probably going to make a video about it, is this is fucking great. It's too bad it's a Legion. But the concept of... I'm sorry, I'm just enthralled by this game. This Legion's just running around you, hitting you. What the fuck is going on?
Getting ready to duel. Yep.
This is the weirdest thing. Anyway, so in Dota, every like 1 to 2 to 3 minutes, there's something else that you need to be paying attention to. Like the game kind of changes, and what makes good players is not last hitting or epic team fight combos or any shit like that. It's the decisions that they make every few minutes. And at the 5-minute mark, or more so at like the 4 minutes 30-second mark, or just 30 seconds before any mod 5 mark, the bounty rune game starts. And what your job is, it's like a Mario Party minigame. And if you win, you get a star, something like that. You know, and the more stars you get, you win in Dota. Like the more of these minigames you win, the more likely you are to win Dota. So the bounty game is about to start 4 minutes, 30 seconds. You need to figure out the best way to get 3 bounties, to at least get 2 bounties, but you want to get like 3. I mean, if you can get 4, that's great, but generally 3 if you successfully figure out a way to do it. That's good. So I think that if you thought about it 30 seconds before and you thought about it as a completely isolated game that's not Dota, and you're thinking, okay, with these resources that I have, with where I'm standing, with where I know their heroes are, how can I get a bounty down here without dying? I think you would have gone for their aggressive bounty. I think it's personally really important to isolate these individual moments as their own little puzzle that needs to be solved. Otherwise, you're going to be thinking about too many things where you're harassing the Ogre, which is not necessary anymore because bounties are about to spawn, so you want to get bounties, you know? So I that's a really helpful way for me to think about it. I don't know if that would help you, but that helps me figure out the best way to go about bounties. And sometimes the best way to go about bounties is TP top and go to those bounties. Sometimes that's the best way to get 3 bounties, and that's especially good if it's like, okay, well, my Void doesn't need any more help, which I don't think he really does need that much help. Or you can have the other support come bot after you TP top to get that bounty, something like that. I mean, that's obviously a high-level play, and you'd have to have some Venge that's willing to do that, but I don't think that's that difficult to, like, TP top, get a kill, get bounties, then be like, hey, Venge, can you go support Void bot instead of being top? It's like, all right, I'll just go do the same thing bot.
Yeah, and speaking of these sort of, like, micro moments in the game that you need to make the correct decision of, I think that going back to bottom at any point for the next 10 minutes is probably a big mistake because here's the deal. You are underleveled. but you're under leveled because you sacrificed your experience for your Void to have a good game, which means that chances are he probably is strong enough to handle himself, but he also happens to be a hero that cannot really get solo kills, or he can't even get kills with you. You don't have enough damage. There's no way that you guys are going to have enough damage to bring down an Ogre or a Viper. You just tried to gank mid against the Legion, which was an admirable try, arguably one of the hardest heroes to gank in the entire game. That didn't work. So
Ember's Legion too, that's like a hard counter.
Yeah, so you can't kill mid, you can't kill bottom. The only place where you could get a kill is top. Jug is also a relatively hard kill, but Warlock is pretty vulnerable. And if you can kill the Warlock, then you guys can probably bully the Jug out of lane. So that sounds like a pretty impactful moment. Now, before you do that, you also want to do one more thing for your Void, which is to secure his lane. And so you're kind of placing this ward here with the intent that it gives you some vision of the shrine. But I would argue that this ward does the exact same thing as this ward for the most part, and that this ward should probably be placed more so in the lane to allow your Void to see what's going on here, which is where he's probably going to get ganked from. And so, again, this is just another one of those little mini games. How can I best help my Void without being in the lane? Probably a tiny little bit of a warding game here, and then moving to the top lane to bring pressure away from him so that he can accelerate with his good start.
So the way that I always word it is that you have this baby boy, okay? Void is your little baby boy, and yes, you want to push the little birdie out of the nest, and yes, you did a good job so he can fly. But, you know, if you clip his wings and push him out of the nest, or you tie an elastic band around his little bird wings and throw him off of a building, he's going to be like a football. You know, he's going to spiral and plummet and just explode. And see, I don't know where this got really morbid very quickly, and I wasn't intending for that. But in any case, you clip his wings by not leaving him a safe lane ward. And the people in the other lanes, they're like your adopted children, where like you say that you care about them more than your biological children, but you really don't. You really don't care about them that much. You know, they're pretty cool, but they're not your little baby boy. So you want to make sure your little baby boy is safer than your adopted children, first and foremost. So once your little baby boy is safe and you've cut the umbilical cord and you've thrown them as a football spiral out of a building and they don't have clipped wings, then you can go to your little baby adopted boys in the mid lane and help them out. But your number one priority in the laning stage is to make sure this Void is doing solid. He's doing good. So if you only have one ward to place, where does it go? Mid lane because it's in the middle of the map? No, absolutely fucking lootly not. Bot rune ward because the bot rune matters? No, absolutely not. You care about your baby boy, none of these adopted little bitches, first and foremost. So you want to give him that safe lane ward, and then you can ward mid once you have a little bit more money from the father that of the baby boy that left, and finally the court case is over with, and the lawyer that you hired finally gets everything dealt with, and you get that what's it called, that money? What's the money called from divorced parents from the dad?
Alimony.
Once you get that alimony, then you can go to the mid and help your little adopted baby boys.
Sure. I'm going to go back to the replay for one last point, which is that you can see the consequences of you playing this minigame incorrectly happen immediately. You come back to the bottom lane. You don't place this ward in a correct position. You end up coming over here to help your Void out, who would be perfectly fine without you. As a result of you staying down here, your Venge thinks that, oh, we're trying to put a lot of bodies in the bottom lane because that's where our carry is. Now, if you had come to the top lane, I guarantee you that your Venge would probably have stayed top because she would have been like, hey, we can get kills in the top lane. So by you being in the bottom lane, you have not only allowed your Void to feel like he has support, which he really doesn't because he doesn't need the support. And number two, you brought your Venge and made your Venge make a bad decision to come help this lane that doesn't need help in the first place. You're going to die. Venge is probably going to come feed, and then you're not pressuring this Juggernaut, who is literally the only core on the enemy team that you can pressure at this point in the game. So, snowballs from there.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. You definitely want to rotate out of that lane. Okay, let's go to the next one. So should we skip the people that have already done a replay and then do them last, or what? What do you think?
Sure.
Okay.
We've been going for an hour, so we've probably got another hour in us or so.
Okay, so let me see. So we did Justin Ash, we did Hockey Leonard, so we'll skip these two boys for now. We didn't do Code Rad, so that was Code Rad's just now.
Yeah. Hey, we just got another patron. Thanks.
Hey, hell yeah.
Thanks, Zachary.
Oh, he's in. He's got a replay too submitted.
Beautiful.
There you go. Awesome. So yeah, if y'all want to submit a replay, is this the last replay review session this month? Yeah, this technically will be. So technically speaking, if you submit a replay today and you're a new patron, then next week you get another replay review session because we reset them every month. But then again, we do double up on people. It's just if we have time.
Yeah.
Replays to review. We have a special Discord channel for that if you're a Patreon. If you're a Patreon. Patreon.com/Dota Alchemy. We appreciate the support.
The link is literally right below the description of this video.
Nice. Good shit. Good shit. New patron. Did we lose one? Or is it just not updated?
I don't know.
That is hard to tell. It goes up and down.
All right. Wraith King.
Cool. Support or carry?
Looks like carry. Yep.
Nice.
See,
Techie's Wraith King, the classic.
Playing as Wraith King, I've come into the state of just playing a game, and if I lose, I instantly blame my team for being the determining factor. And now I've been on a loss streak. Now that I've been on a loss streak, I doubt myself if I'm just delusional and that I'm just the determining factor instead of RNG teammates. When I get to these stages, I tend to pick heroes that need as little teamwork as possible for me, as little communication as possible with randoms, since it's just a dice roll sometimes. They listen often or they don't. They just fail at the task. So I tried adopting the Wraith King skeleton split push tactic, push a lane with skeletons and TP to fights under turrets. I need to stop blaming teammates for every loss and need a new perspective. Thanks in advance for the feedback. Also, have you been drinking enough water today? Have you? I certainly have not.
I have not. I'm going to actually get some water.
Turrets. Spot the league player, eh?
And by water, I mean I filled up the kettle for tea.
Nice. Perfect. All right, so Jenkins, what do you have to say about that opening statement? I know you've got some choice words for that statement.
Okay. So, yeah, blaming your team doesn't do anything. First and foremost, you are the determining factor. I guarantee you. Like, the thing is, we're all playing the same game. You know, you, Miracle, me, Brax, The Last Crusader, Hockey Leader, we're all playing the same game. We all have the same idiots on our team. So how are certain people higher rated than you? And
I know what you're saying. You're probably saying, hey, it's mechanics. They're just gods. They're instinctual Dota players. And the answer is no. They've played a lot of fucking Dota, and they have the right mindset.
A lot is the thing is, like, there's a lot of concepts in this game that you have to learn that are important, and you just straight up, all right, you lost the lane. Oh, never mind. You're lucky. You just straight up can't learn. You can't move forward if your attitude is shit. And sometimes you move backward if your attitude is shit. Like, it impacts your picks. It impacts your play.
I mean, you literally just described the downward spiral for every single Dota player who is stagnant at their MMR, which is that you get disillusioned with your teammates. You start feeling like you can't win consistently because of your teammates. So then you start trying to play the game completely solo instead of only partially solo. And guess what? You can't fucking win Dota solo, ever. So you just are literally throwing games because you refuse to believe that your teammates will ever do anything correct ever. And that means that you cannot play with them. which means that you can't win Dota because Dota is a team game.
I have to say, you just straight up have to separate yourself from the idea that you are somehow inherently different and you alone are getting like shitty RNG. That happens to literally everybody, and yes, sometimes there are 10 games in a row that you can't possibly win, but then you lose 5 more because your attitude sucks. And you could have won those if you were Brax or Miracle, literally just based on attitude, not on play. But because your attitude is bad, you fuck up 5 more. And then when you do get the win streak, guess what? You could have had 5 more wins of MMR if you just didn't lose.
Yeah.
Like, Dota is all about win streaks and loss streaks. For whatever reason, you'll have a huge win streak, you'll have a huge loss streak. So when you're in the loss streak period, it's all about minimizing losses. It's not about winning, it's about minimizing losses and blaming your team and picking different heroes and completely changing the way that you play, assuming that every single teammate is going to be like those teammates that you got in your loss streak. That is false. You will not get those teammates again. Like, eventually you'll start getting good teammates and you'll win. And you want to make sure that when your teammates are decent and you have a 50% chance to win the game. That's not usually how you usually say 50-50 or 50%. But I said both because that's how strongly I believe in this. So whenever you have a 50% chance of winning the game, you want to make sure that you take those wins because you're a good player rather than assuming that your teammates are idiots because they're going to do okay stuff. So when they do the bad stuff, you're going to assume they're bad and just be like, oh, we already lost. We're fucked because of these previous losses. But do you think Brax is doing that to get rank 8? No, he's not doing that. He's assuming his teammates are fine, or he's not caring. He's just playing the same game every time. And when he gets the wins, he takes the wins. When he gets the free losses, he takes the free losses. And when he gets the games that are hard, he wins those too because his mentality is good no matter what. And he doesn't let the losses fuck up his mentality. That's the thing. Dota, the free wins don't matter. The free losses don't matter. I'm so sick of hearing about the free losses and the free wins. I don't care about when you stomp. I don't care about when you get stomped. What matters is those games that are hard but relatively even. Those games fucking own.
Yep. And those are the ones that feel the best to play. Those are the ones that feel the best to win. Those are the ones that make you want to play more Dota because you're like, wow, that was an actually fun, competitive experience that gave me the adrenaline thrill that I wanted. That's why I play Dota. And that's what you're looking for. So you got to enjoy those. And if you're too set on your teammates being trash, you're never going to recognize when it's a game that you can literally enjoy and have fun playing. All right, on to this replay. This is a mistake right here. You should be pulling these creeps into this wave behind you, and the reason for that is because you've already pulled this wave all the way over here, and this wave has gone under here. So if you pull this wave into the tower, you're going to feed them this wave of creeps because these creeps will die much faster because the tower will be hitting them. Because the wave is split like this so much, obviously you're not going to run up here and deny these creeps, but you can deny them this entire wave if you just pull these creeps here, farm behind your tower, deny all these creeps, and then you can get the new wave equilibrium, which will be about where it should be when the lane first starts.
Dota's really easy when you have an XP lead because the enemy team pulled it into tower and then you didn't.
Yep.
Like one wave of XP. That's insane. That is so much.
Yeah, your ogre tried to save you there, actually. So, I'm sure that this entire game you were probably like, my ogre is a piece of shit, he's ruining my lane, based on your attitude. He literally just tried to save you from making this big mistake. So, he's on your side, man.
Cool. This could be an entire wave denied is the thing, though.
Yep.
Not Sup is that guy's name. Oh, my God. I fucking hate Dota players sometimes. Holy shit.
Yep. Those people that intentionally ruin games because they have to play support. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, they're fantastic. 10 out of 10. Nice. They're getting a double wave. This is when you would pull the lane back because you're sending them a double wave. It's fine to fuck up equilibrium like this. Sometimes it happens. Dota's real chaotic these days. It's kind of hard to keep like an equilibrium. You just want to make sure that when you do fuck up the equilibrium like this, somebody's pulling.
Yep. And especially against a lane that's pretty good at harassing you, it's okay to have creeps pushing into them because...
Oh, yeah. They're going to dome you in this lane. They're going to completely dome you.
Yep.
And look at these heroes.
Not sure that going for the side shop here is the play. This low.
Holy shit. Are you rushing Midas? How's this working?
Wow. Why are you TPing back to lane?
No, you kill yourself there.
Why are you TPing back to the fountain? What the hell?
Nah, dude, I'd run into the tier 1 and just die. That's what I'd do.
You have 4 tangos, too. I mean, like...
No, he got those from base.
No, he had them in his inventory.
Did he? Go back.
He had them in his inventory.
Go back. I just didn't see.
4 tangos.
Holy shit, you've tangos. Also, it's 3 minutes in, so the courier's flying. You can use the courier. Like, you can go pull the easy camp and use those tangos. Also, you can tango those branches, and they'll give you double the regen.
Yeah, just...
You actually have no reason to go back right now.
Yeah, just tango a branch and go farm the small camp for a wave until you're at, like, 70% HP. Let your ogre have the lane for, like, 1 creep wave. But you're going to miss, like, 3 or 4 creep waves now by doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a huge rip in pepperonis for you. I mean, the kills were sick. That was cool. Like, good job. Great when that happens. Love it. But, yeah, you are definitely missing a lot for this. Like, somebody needs to pull the lane back. There's so many creep waves that could be denied. It could be you that pulls this back. I've talked about, I think it was the last Crusader that I talked about this concept. He plays carry as well. I coached him on Monday. And sometimes you have idiots on your team and they just like straight up don't pull or don't know how to pull. It's better to pull as a carry than to have nobody pull the lane back. Yeah. In fact, like if you're just sitting there tangoing up, which you should have been doing because you have enough tangos be full HP, why not go pull? 'Cause you don't be in the lane anyway, right? So why not go support for like 2 seconds? Hell, you can even farm the easy camp. And guess what? Instead of going to base, you're farming and you're pulling. So you have more future farm and you're farming extra farm. Like then your ogre can take the lane. You're just getting so much more off the map if you go do that. 100%. Well, the play there was to walk back to the pull camp, pull, and tango up. That's it. Like you can combine those two things, tangoing up and pulling, and you can do both at the same time. You can't tango in lane because they kill you. But you can tango and pull, and then ogre takes the lane. Efficiency. Efficiency.
And right here, speaking of efficiency, you're not going to be able to last at any of these creeps for about 10 to 15 seconds. You should go pull this camp into this wave since your ogre's not pulling, and then you can deny this wave and also get all of the last hits.
Did we schedule this replay review session, by the way, on YouTube?
No, I didn't have time to do it today.
We should set that up after just as a thought. We should set that up. I wonder if we can set up as a weekly thing, like schedule it every week.
Maybe.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but we should just schedule it after the episode's done, probably.
Yeah, we should. It's a good idea. Anyway.
But yeah, you're just feeding this guy a lot of experience that he doesn't need to get, I feel like.
Is there a siege creep?
There's a siege. Yeah, so this is okay.
Love it. Love it. Hell fucking yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Fortify that bitch. Oh, never mind. You got a wave coming in because Skeleton King's a bullshit hero. Oh, nice. This is easy. So you just juke up. You don't need to get the tower last hit, you greedy bitch. Oh my goodness. If you somehow survive this, there are so many like close calls in this.
He did win this game, right? No, they lost. Okay.
They lost.
What? Why is it restarting the replay? The fuck?
Josh says you guys should schedule it because I never know when you're streaming. We watch Henry stream purely because it's scheduled. Shit.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's it. I'm sold. I'm sold.
Fair enough.
We'll see. We'll see next week how good of an idea it is.
You should definitely have phase boots. I feel like there's no reason not to have phase boots on this hero right now.
Yeah, it's nice having phase boots because even with like phase boots Midas, you can contribute. That's why I love Midas these days. Like,
if you can actually play Dota and also get farm.
yeah. If you have a Midas plus like some other small items, like bracer, phase boots, wand, like you can show up to stuff and it's fine. Unless you're Nakes, then you can't. But
yeah,
that's what the hero does.
Phase boots really makes a huge difference on this hero because he has a crit. He desperately needs armor, and he really needs a way to close the gap. And that one item gives him all three of those, which makes him capable of fighting. Yeah.
He has high base movement speed, so the phase from the phase boost is percentage. So he gets way more. Like if you phase, it's ridiculous how fast you go. That is an early Radiance. I'm surprised that you guys lost this. It's a 5k gold lead.
Yeah.
Seems like losable. Kill that guy. Okay, so my first question
Why are we bottom?
Why are we bottom?
Yeah.
We don't need to be bought for any purpose. You've already taken a tower. You have no tower to defend down here. This is literally just acquiring farm in a very dangerous area. You could be acquiring farm top, where that's the area that you actually want to occupy. That is the area where you need to take a tower. In fact, you generally lose Dota if the enemy team holds on to their tier 1 top for a long time and you lose your tier 1. Because it opens up such a huge area of the map that you feel like you can safely play on, that the team that doesn't take the tier 1 just has nowhere to farm.
Yep.
If they play down here, you don't have your jungle to farm, but you also don't have their jungle to farm because you haven't taken their tier 1. So where do you farm? Your triangle? One person farms that. That's it. So honestly, I can say that like
that just lost them the game pretty much.
That loses you the game. That single-handedly loses you the game.
Yep.
I cannot stress how important that is. That's not like a 2% increase in the chance of you winning the game. It's a 20%, 30%. Like you will never see in a high-rated game a team playing down here at 19 minutes. This is the dead lane. You are playing the dead lane, and you will die if you play the dead lane. And you
have a techies who wants to play the dead lane. Like,
correct.
And finally, since we're, past time in this replay, what was the first thing that we talked about? It's your fucking fault. You made the decision to be here. It's not your team. Go to the top lane, and your team will have to respond correctly. Which means that people will play around you and your techies will probably move. So you can literally force your team to play correctly by doing the right thing. So stop blaming your fucking teammates and get better at Dota. Period.
Don't say the F word to my friend, Donnie.
I'll do whatever I fucking want, Jenkins.
Fuck you!
Dude, don't say the F word to your friend, a.k.a. me. Oh.
I'll do whatever I want, Jenkins.
Yeah. Game Leap.
What'd you just say?
Huh?
My name is Ivan. That's my name, but I'm embarrassed that I'm Russian, so.
So you're gonna name yourself Elliot?
That's so mean, man. That's so mean. He really doesn't like the Ivan name. Anyway, okay, we're gonna get like destroyed. They're like a multi-million-dollar company at this point. He could pay to have us offed.
Yeah, probably. Whatever.
I wish Dota Alchemy was as profitable as like scamming people to go on a website and pay money. Or I'm dead. I'm done.
There's actually.
I'm obviously just joking. Y'all know I'm extreme. Okay, relax.
There's literally a hitman on the way to you now, and there's gonna be.
I'm just joking, Ivan. I'm fucking joking, man. I talk about farts and shit all the time. Like, I think this is all of a sudden not a joke when I'm talking about Game Leap. And that they're funded by the Russian mob.
They're literally gonna start a click farm or one of those like troll farms just to like shame you and defame you on Twitter. You're never gonna get another gig again. We're gonna suddenly find out that you're like some shady fucking.
I have a gig coming up.
Yeah, that's what you think. Not until Ivan says something about it.
I haven't gone to a gig in a while, man. It's been a minute. Anyway, all right. Kinryoku says, I played position 5 Shadow Shaman, directly flamed by my friend that it's a position 4. Well, for this game, a lot of stuff went wrong, and I was just lost, mainly looking for tips on how to get through the laning stage. In general, I think Earth should not have started top, and I should have just focused on denying and pulling lane, but we were fighting a lot, and I did not know how to handle a lane like this. Also, the mid-game, I think I walked around way too much without accomplishing anything. Sounds like the typical Shadow Shaman game that we watch. Actually, watching it back made me surprised on how close it was for a long time. Hopefully you guys can help me out a bit. One sec, I'm gonna fill up my teacup. I'll be right back. Love you.
Sounds like you should tell your friend to shut the fuck up or get better friends. He's just flaming you all game. It's a very weird lane setup. You guys have 4 people top. Is this an off-lane warlock? Okay, it is. Looks like. Well, if you guys have 4 people top, you should definitely get these top 2 runes. If you don't get 2 runes...
What up, bitches? That's my new catchphrase. What up, bitch?
That's a pretty terrible catchphrase.
That's not a terrible catchphrase.
I mean, okay, whatever. See how it works. Start using it. Start using it on every woman you see.
That doesn't...
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand.
Exactly.
I just don't understand.
Alright, so they've got 4 people top and an offlane warlock. They should definitely be getting these 2 bounty runes with 4 people top. There's no chance that they don't get 2 bounty runes top, right? Are you gonna die?
Look.
Oh, he died top with 4 people top. They got 3 bounties, though.
You definitely don't want to feed first blood to 2 people, though.
Yeah. Got arrowed by the Marana tanking treants. I mean, again, this is another one of those lanes where I really don't feel like Shadow Shaman does anything here. You're against 2 ranged heroes who have longer range than you. They both move faster than you, and they both have more damage over time just because you're not going to be able to hit them. You can't do anything to these heroes. The treants are going to punch you in the face. Marana's going to punch you in the face.
What you do in this game as a Shadow Shaman is you kill the treants. That's what you do.
Yep.
You hit the most recent treants that he summons in the lane, not over here.
Yeah, if they're playing over here, then you probably just
That's
kind of
fine.
like...
Yeah, you're terribly free farming.
Yeah.
Who cares? Let them.
Exactly. You just try to
Go
create
to
distraction. Create distraction, kill treants, stack and pull, and that's basically your job in this lane. Your job is definitely not to trade with the heroes at all.
No, anytime there's a Nature's Prophet, you don't trade with the hero. You trade with the treants.
Yep.
Same with Beastmaster. You don't trade with the Beast, you trade with the Boar.
And Enigma.
Then when the Boar is dead and the treants are dead, you can trade with the hero, but...
Oh, Jesus. Now you have a tri-lane up here. This seems like just not a good idea. I kind of feel like you should basically just leave the lane now and go try and kill Slurk. Like, why is there a...
I think you just pull. You just chain pull. Like, what are they going to do if you chain pull?
But why is there a Slark alone that's not being pressured? Because there's an offlane Warlock. You can't do anything to him. Just go kill the Slark.
I think your biggest impact would be, like, you tell Earthshaker to go bot.
Yeah.
And then you just chain pull up here. Like, did they block the easy camp? Why is it, like...
No, there's
so many of these games where I don't see the easy camp getting pulled. If you just stack and pull the easy camp or just pull it, you're just going to out XP the enemies against a tri-lane.
Yeah.
And out farm them. That's just winning Dota right there.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Slark is dumpstering Warlock. Look at this. Yes.
Yeah, I feel like that's a huge problem. That seems like not a good idea to let that happen.
Yeah, you wanna send like honestly just like pulling and then going bot is also fine. Like win this lane a bit and then go pressure Slark.
Yeah.
The fact that the pull is untouched is the problem here.
Yeah.
The pull is everything in the safe lane. The pull is everything in every lane. Like if you can pull, you should pull.
Yeah.
It makes it so the enemy team gets less XP and less gold than you, and then you don't even need to play the lane because your guy's farming under tower. None of this has to happen. You just pull.
I mean,
like,
that's literally the rule, right? If you can get your cores an EXP advantage in the early game, especially in the first few waves of the laning stage, you probably have already increased your chances of winning the game to like 75%. It's like it's that big of a deal. Just win the first 3 or 4 minutes of EXP, and you have a very good chance of winning the game. That's how I play 5 now. I've gained 800 MMR this month, and it's
800 really.
It's basically just strictly.
What's your MMR now?
4.8.
Congratulations, Donnie. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, man. And it's literally just off the back of me playing 5 better than any other 5 in my bracket. And all I do is I focus on just winning the EXP game for my core. And even if it's a hard lane, I'm stacking and pulling and going to gank another lane. Like, that's all it is. I play the first 5 to 10 minutes of the games pretty well, and it has obviously translated into a lot of MMR. So that's my advice.
For me, I gained a lot of MMR by taking a bunch of new like coaching students and then spending the money on boosting my account.
Yeah,
and I found that's a very effective way to gain like shitloads of MMR really quickly. Like, you think somebody could go from like 6K to 7.2K in like a few months? That's not possible.
Right.
You know. So it's like, okay, well, it's not possible. Why would I try to do something that's impossible? I'm going to get boosting service from somebody who's, extremely skilled. Because obviously, go from 6K to 7.2K, which, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned that, is pretty almost impossible without boosting. Unless somebody's like complete fucking god.
Can you read this for me? This is when I hit Divine 1.
Yeah. All right. So what you're saying is this bit that I'm doing. Okay, the thing is, like, half of my bit is also like just like boasting that I'm boosting, like boosting that I'm boosting is half of the bit that I'm doing. So it's not really the same. It's not really the same joke.
Okay.
I like the rotation on the 5-minute mark.
Yep.
That is fucking good. That is primo stuff right there. That's really good.
Yep.
Cannot stress that enough, guys. Do this in every game. That shit is good. Yep. Moving lanes and doing something effective is insane in Dota.
Yep, 100%. I mean, the thing is, like, if you are the one that seizes initiative, it means that the enemy team has to react to you, which gives you the opportunity to then react to them. Like, if you are the first person to move, if you're the person to initiate, if you're the one who forces the enemy team to respond, you will always have the advantage. It's that simple. Like, that's how teams can even come back from being really far behind, because they'll find an opportunity to seize the initiative from the enemy team. Like, the enemy team's ahead, they're pushing the lanes, they're split up, you seize the initiative, you kill one of those farmed heroes who's alone now, and then suddenly the enemy team only has 4 people, which means that you can suddenly control the map and you can keep that initiative and keep that momentum going.
Yeah. Back when I was a Grandmaster chess player, in 95, we called it something, we called it the tempo, which is this extremely complicated concept in chess, which means going first. So if you do something first, as a Grandmaster chess expert, holy shit, you've gotten 3 bounties. You're actually a god with this fucking rotation. You're making me so hard right now. But anyway, in Grandmaster chess, having the tempo means that the enemy chess Grandmaster has to constantly respond to your moves, and because of that, they can't make their own moves. And I know, like, most people wouldn't understand that because they're also not Grandmaster chess players. But like, if you can try to wrap your head around that concept, it's pretty solid in like most things in life as well, like driving as well. Like if there's like a card in intersection, like just go first. Like that usually works.
Right, as a Grandmaster chess expert, that's what you would say.
If you would understand, yeah, like if you would understand that. Like, I know you guys probably drive cars, but that's not the same as like driving, a chessboard.
Right. Yeah, I actually love this entire rotation, because now your Terrorblade is leaving the lane and you're going to just soak experience, which you desperately need because you're only level 2, which you can do relatively safely. Just try and attack the creep wave and pull it off. Don't stand here and last it under tower, but just, there you go, aggro the creep wave off the tower.
Yeah, no, this is good.
This is great.
This is great. I'm loving this, dude. You're taking a lane, your TB's jungling. This is amazing. This is so good. Although I don't like the fact that you warded like both of the runes mid. I think it's like totally unnecessary. Although apparently it's working. Like, the guy that you warded for is like owning and causing the enemy guy to buy back, which is great. Yeah.
And then you just sit here. You just sit here and you hang out. You get some experience. You pick up your boots. You get some more wards. Maybe you pick up a smoke. Shadow Fiend is very, very gankable, so you just keep an eye on Shadow Fiend. Maybe make a play towards mid.
Why is TB back in this lane? Oh my god, I'm so triggered. That was good. TB jungles faster than he lanes, man.
Yeah. Okay, so you left. You left.
What?
He left to go gank mid.
That's fine.
Yep. Not a fan of just walking up like that, though, as a Shadow Shaman. He's
oh my god.
Very slow. This is lots of misspells. But the idea behind it was fine. For sure. Okay, so every time you die as a 5, it's really important to figure out where you want to go next. And that usually means where you want to spend the next, like, 3 to 5 minutes of your time in the general area. So probably you don't want to go top, because even if you go top, you're not going to be able to actually save this tower, and chances are you're going to force more bad plays out of your team.
It's so triggering to me that you guys, like, you had a really good map position being held with, like, if you get Shadow Shaman some levels and he gets level 3 in the Ether Shock and he just holds top tower, he can do that for so long.
Yeah.
And then TB just free farms in the jungle and you don't lose the top tower. Like, because this guy ran back to the lane and you TP'd out of that position, you guys are losing so much. Like, you're losing the tower because you don't have the levels to go up there now.
Yep.
Like, if you were up there for that entire time, you would have the levels to be there. But TB can't defend that either, so I don't know why he would go back there. And the problem here is you also have a Warlock off lane and then an OD mid. So you don't want to play around your TB because he wants to farm. Your OD wants to farm. And I don't know what the fuck Warlock does. So you have nobody to really play around other than, like, your other support, which you're doing pretty well, but...
Yeah, I think this is probably where you kind of force the issue. You force your OD to play active because your Warlock can't, your TB can't. So your OD kind of has some kill potential at this point. So maybe you force him to play aggressively, or you just go to the lane that you want to occupy and you just start shoving it out with your Ether Shock. And whoever is your core in that lane, you're like, get the fuck out of this lane. Go jungle. Do your job and I'll do mine.
You legit need to do that. Like,
yeah.
I cannot stress. You guys had a winning position on the map, and you just gave it up because the TB didn't understand how to play the map. Like, he walked top when you could have held the tower forever and gotten tons of levels, gotten tons of farm, and if they dive and kill you, who cares? You're a 5. And they won't be able to dive and kill you, so keep the lane out. And then TB free farms the jungle, and he could actually pressure bot, too. Like, he wants to go to the tri-camp anyway. Like, why the fuck would he go top to a lane that is dumpstering him? I'm going to go get dumpstered. Wow, that sounds fucking fun. Great. Oh, now I have to leave because I'm getting dumpstered. Too bad we lost the tower. Oh, who could have possibly held that? The Shadow fucking Shaman. The Shadow Shaman that was already there. He could have fucking held that.
Oh, man. All right, next replay.
Okay. Okay, so that was Kiryoku. We have Jayayori. Let me check. Did we do Jayori? Yeah, we did do Jayori. Okay, so one second. Let me add Kiryoku to the... And Anderson. So we have Jack Smacks Zach.
Nice. That's the new patron, right?
New patron.
Thank you for your support, sir.
Appreciate the support. Justin Ash, I skipped yours because we did yours earlier this month, and there's a lot that have been submitted, and we'll come back. We'll come back at the end and possibly do it if we have time. That's what we're doing here. Which we probably will be able to do a few, I think. So yeah, okay. Did I post it to you? Yeah, Jax Max Zach. Fuck's sakes. It says Archon 1. I've been on a 5-game loss streak and would really like to break it because I climbed from Guardian and would like to continue my climb. I'm the Earthshaker in this game, and my Storm continually got upset at my and the CM because we were farming too much. I'm curious if that is true, and I would also like help on how to go throughout teamfights as Shaker when a Void targets you with Chrono. Sounds like the Void was playing good Dota if he's targeting a Shaker with Chrono because you're really important.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can look at teamfights. We can definitely do that. Thanks for the specificity of your question. I appreciate it. Everybody's been very specific this week, actually. I appreciate everybody being so specific with your requests.
Yeah, that definitely helps us give you the information that you want instead of just rambling on and on and on. Definitely love that shit.
That is a cool looking Wraith King. Holy shit.
That's just the Chinese New Year set from like the Your Beast.
I like how like green it looks.
I really like this Void set too. I'm glad they added some more Void cosmetics.
The mace is cool.
Yeah, and the mace. I like the mace too. It's a meat tenderizer.
Wow, that is totally out of character for
Yeah, it should be a Pudge. Pudge does have a meat tenderizer item, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Damn, more clarities. Okay, that's good though, because it's your Earthshaker, so yeah, definitely fine. So you're a position 4 Shaker, and presumably you went for this Stout Shield regen based build because you think you're going to be trading with your opponents in the lane, which is good, which is okay, because you don't see mid as like super gankable, which I would agree with.
I don't love it though, just because you have a Void and a Silencer who you're laning against, both of which basically just do magic damage to harass you, and then you have an Ursa who's going to be the one actually trading. So I don't know if the Stout Shield makes any sense to me.
I think it's fine. Like, you're going to be trading with a Silencer in the side.
Yeah, but he does glaives, which is pure damage.
Yeah, but he's still doing right-click damage. Like, his main source of damage is the right-click damage.
Sure.
Okay, the Silencer's actually not even up here. So, this is all moot. I think it's Omni or something.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would never recommend going for a trading build and not having a Stout Shield. I think that's like...
I agree. But the question is, do you need to trade in this lane when you have an Ursa?
It just depends. Like, what are you gonna go boots and then not roam mid with boots? Boots just doesn't do anything. So like, why not wait?
Why not roam mid though? You have an Ursa. Like, I feel like Ursa does his thing most of the time.
I'm just saying, if you're choosing to not roam mid, like if you're choosing to go into this lane, you don't want to go boots build.
Fair enough.
Boots build is for like moving around the map.
Yes.
I mean, since it's a Silencer mid and you have a Storm, I think you actually could rotate mid.
Yeah.
But it's really difficult to see what the lanes are in this fucking game.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I was expecting it to be Omni off lane with a clock and then Wind Ranger mid.
Wind Ranger mid.
Yeah, totally.
Top. Yeah.
Totally.
So I want to go to the level 1. I want to look at what you did level 1 because so this is all results based. You know, you have this lane pushing in. That's fine and dandy, cool. Did you fissure the wave? That's my question.
No, they did not. They let it just go all the way up.
Okay, so you can fissure their wave, which will pull your wave under tower, and unfortunately that'll get them like a level advantage on you. Like, they'll get level 2 first. So that's fine if you feel like it doesn't matter if they're level 2.
I feel like you should do that if you can block the pull camp too. Like,
yeah, sure. But I would say because you have an Ursa in your lane, you trade better than almost any. It doesn't matter who is in this lane. You're going to out-trade them. So if you fissure and just keep the creep wave like ultra far up, close to your tower, you can just like dumpster them in this lane.
Yeah.
Because that's what Ursa wants. Like, Ursa, this is actually a very beastly lane, by the way. Ursa plus Shaker, because you can pull the lane back with fissure, and then because you can also set up for like a fissure block, and Ursa does shitloads of damage. This is a really good lane, but you want to fissure the first wave, so that way it's close to your tower, and Ursa can run them down. He actually has an Oov, right? So the Oov will help him run down like the Void.
Yeah, no Stout. Yikes.
Oh my god. No fucking wonder he has no...
Yeah, he showed up to lane with a Quelling Blade, no Stout. Yikes.
Oh, God.
Still, you can salvage this terrible build by the Ursa by keeping the wave far back and allowing him to actually run at people.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I mean, you don't. The reason you pick this Earthshaker hero, one of the big reasons is, well, he's broken in the game, but then also you can pull the lane back. So no matter what lane you're against, you can always have it back at your tower, and your team can always farm.
Yep.
So you wanna make sure that you're abusing that. Like, they would not have the one up on you here with this Ursa being like mega low, even with this stupid build that he went.
Yep.
You guys would be out trading them because they'd be so afraid of you, or they'd die. They could also die.
Yep.
To you if the lane is this far up, but now you're in this like disadvantaged position. They're level 2 and you're not. You're really low, and they're not.
And it's also put you in this position where you feel like you kind of have to stay near your Ursa because he's low. And so you spent the last like 30 seconds basically just standing here leeching experience from him when your entire job is to make your Ursa have a good game.
Yeah, honestly, what you could do is you could go back and like stack a camp. When the creep wave is under your tower like that, you could go back and do that. I don't think they have much kill threat on your Ursa. Especially if you had a Stout, they would have no kill threat.
Yeah.
Stack it, like at the 2-minute mark, you could stack a camp. Also, if the lane is pushed in like this, and you're a potential roaming hero, any position 4.
Just leave. Go do something.
Get the rune. Check the rune. Like, if you get top rune and it's a haste or a DD, and you like go to mid and fissure block mid, like, you get kill the mid. That's the thing, is people are always like, oh, how do I rotate? And it's like, well, no, it's not really like how do you rotate. It's like, what opportunities are you missing that would give you an opportunity to I'm using that word way too much. Like, what opportunities are you not giving yourself by just not checking things? You know, like you can check for a rune, check for a bounty when you have a bottle to get full mana. It's like if you watch pro players, like they make so many plays based off of runes, based off of timings that happen in the game. It's not like they're just like, oh, my brain says this rotation would be fucking good. It's like, no, they check for a rune, and then the rune is like, oh, it's a haste. I'm going to rotate with this. I'm going to TP bot and kill somebody. I'm going to go mid and kill the silencer. So, yeah, you just want to go for those. And the opportunity is when the creep wave is pushing in. You don't need to be there. The Ursa can free farm that solo, and I don't think you're going to kill them, really.
Yeah. Also, right here is a really important support thing. This is something that you will see all really good support players do. It's something that I try to pay attention to in my own games as far as like a important priority. It's how do you use your damage to affect the decision making of the people that you're playing against. So right here, you guys are going on this Omni Knight, but this is the support. So like, who really cares about this Omni Knight? Just keep that concept in your head. Okay, so you're going on him. Sure, you'd like to get a kill, but he heal bombs and then he starts to run away, and your Ursa's getting very low. Instead of chasing this Omni, who is essentially dead because he has no health, so he's going to have to go back to base or do something else. He's out of the lane. He cannot participate in this lane anymore. You need to immediately start right-clicking this Void, because your Void is putting, or the Void is putting your Ursa in danger, and you could potentially save this Ursa's life just by right-clicking the Void 3 or 4 times so he starts feeling too low to dive under tower. But instead, you go chase the Omni. The Void is like, oh, cool. This Earthshaker is completely forgetting about me, so I'm going to go chase down this Ursa who has no HP. And if you're right-clicking this Void right now, like, you could legitimately just save your Ursa's life, potentially even get a kill in the Void and turn this lane around. So use your damage as a resource to dictate what the Void does. You know.
Yeah, it's like I guess like paraphrase what you're saying, at least like from my understanding. Basically in Dota, like, kills don't matter. What kills accomplish matters.
Yeah.
Kills make it so the person has to spend a bunch of time not in a lane.
Yeah.
Like, kills is just wasted time on the enemy team. So you've already got that guy low. It's already wasted time.
Yeah.
So he already has to walk back to base. So why not at that point not only quote unquote kill the Omni by making him have to walk back to base, which is exactly what he's doing. I think he's pulling and then walking back to base, which is actually better.
Mm-hmm.
And then also save your Ursa and kill the Void. You know, you get 3 of these things instead of just 1.
Yeah.
Right? And you didn't kill the Omni.
Yeah, you didn't kill the Omni.
But, you know, he's effectively dead. Doesn't matter. He's
right.
effectively dead. So either way, he's effectively dead. So same thing as accomplished, except you get 2 extra things by just turning and going on the Void. Many pro replays, you can watch many pro replays, and you will see this happens a lot. Somebody runs out of range, they don't give a fuck. They just stop chasing. They just go hit creeps, or they go hit whoever else. Like, they're not unrealistic about chasing people just because they're excited to get a kill.
Yeah.
Kills don't matter to them. It's like what it accomplishes matters.
Yeah, 100%. And, I mean, that's why playing a sort of like defensive counter-initiation style of Dota is so effective, because it just, if you are successful in your counter-initiation where you get a turn kill, it's like just a double down every single time. Because you waste their time, they spend a bunch of time trying to get this kill, they don't get the kill, then they die as well. Like,
so many things come out of it. It's like amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay, we can skip ahead a little bit. So you get the boots. I think a stick is generally really good. You always want to have boot stick ASAP. It's a sentry. Who cares? Don't worry about it. It's a sentry. So your Ursa's roshing. Windring is dead. So wait, what? Oh, he wants to know how to play in team fights. Okay, so we can go over like one team fight and talk about it.
Sure. Give me 1 second. I'm just taking the replay ID down. Hopefully this won't restart the replay. Nice.
What's my behavior score? It's like 10k, 9 to 10k. I sometimes get games with like giant pieces of shit and my behavior score goes down because I get reported, but usually those people like... I call people out for buying accounts all the time because I'll see like they went from Archon to Immortal top 200, and by pure accident, I've checked to see like what their MMR is now, like 2 or 3 people in the last week, and they've all plummeted. Like, fucking cleared profile plummeted because it's so clear that it was an account booster and the account had been sold and everything changed, and then it just plummets. Because I was showing Ellie, I was like, oh, I got this guy in my game. You're gonna get him in your game soon, and it's like, oh shit, his MMR was like this number before, and now he was like top 100. Now he's 200, which is like 500 MMR loss or something. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
It's crazy. I've actually identified an account because I played against him. I was like, this guy's playing differently, man. He's owned me before, and now he's just some random support feeding. And I've watched his MMR. He went from top 50 to like rank 150 at this point, and that's like 1,000 MMR. That's almost 1,000 MMR in like 2 or 3 days. It's like I wish I could dodge accounts that I haven't played with or accounts that I've played against, because it's an account that has been sold, which happens all the time.
Right.
It's so unfortunate if you get them. I love the new dodge feature, because otherwise you'd have to literally stop playing Dota for like an entire night, because like that guy's going to be on your team a bunch of times. They tend to get low priority really quickly, though. That's the great thing, is they do get low priority really quickly, and then they tank an MMR and you never see them again. Yeah. But it still sucks to get them once, and then it's like, fuck, this is a free loss.
All right, so let's talk about this moment before we move on to a nice replay, which is that,
Sure.
I mean, status of the game, Ursa has Aegis, so him being bottom is a mistake on his part, but the rest of your team is top, so you should definitely be with your team.
I don't know what he's doing down there. He's like selling shit at the shop or something. Wait. Who's a sheep?
Wind Ranger. I think it's a support Wind Ranger who just has a sheep rush, I suppose, for the storm.
All right.
Anyway, blinking up here to hit this tower is not good, because you're like the scary thing for the enemy team. Even though you don't have Echo, and they probably know you don't have Echo at the moment, you are still the scary thing.
Realistically don't know that.
You are the scary thing on your team. You and Storm Spirit. So if they don't know where you are, there's a very good chance that nobody comes to contest this tower. And so showing yourself to get an additional early 120 damage on this tower when your whole team is walking here to take the tower anyway, and you have a double siege wave.
2 siege creeps, and there's already a double wave going into it.
There's just no point.
Your Ursa should be dead twice right now.
Yeah, the fact that you've showed has effectively killed your Ursa in a better game. Like, better players will kill your Ursa immediately right now. And the reason that I mentioned that is because somebody, if you're pushing here, somebody needs to ward the shrine or just go stand on it. Because this kind of thing should never happen. You should never have somebody TPing behind you.
Oh boy, what a fuck up. Yeah, you should be the one seeing him. And also your clock should... I don't know what your clock is doing.
They don't have a clock.
Oh, that's their clock. Oh, your CM, your other support, your CM. Like, you and CM should not be anywhere near in that area. Also, your Ursa is getting you killed right now by showing bot.
Yeah.
Like, y'all are fucking each other over across the map by showing. Your Aegis guy is bot. Oh my god, this is going to be a disaster. This silencer should go on you. I don't know why he's going on Storm. If he goes on you, you're like, you guys are fucked.
Well, they're going to kill the Storm, so... Or effectively kill the Storm. But yeah, none of this happens if you're just standing up here waiting for the silencer to TP in. You're like, oh look, a silencer's TPing in. You fissure him, your Storm zips on him, and he dies, and you just basically win the game at that point. So positioning, incredibly important, especially on an initiating hero like an Earthshaker. How did you die here? Okay, so your
This all stems from revealing your position right at the start, though.
Yeah.
Like, everything stems here that you're not just waiting in the trees looking for like a good fissure.
Oh god. Okay, so you use Force Staff to save your Storm. That's a good play.
You could be doing that from out of vision, though. Like, they know your status.
Yes.
Because of showing yourself from the start.
Yep. But
It all stems from going in and showing your hero when you should be chilling in trees. You do no damage to towers.
Yeah.
Everything that's happening right now is stemming from the fact that y'all are showing and Ursa's showing. Like, nobody is respecting like the information aspect of the game right now. Nobody is respecting that.
Yep. That's a really good way to put it.
The enemy team is taking advantage of it, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, and they're idiots, who knows. But if they're good players, this happens 100% of the time.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly what just happened. will happen to you, like Jenkins said, 100% of the time in like about 1,000 MMR, probably. So if you want to climb, then this mistake is something that is incredibly easy to fix that will gain you a lot of MMR. That's the key point. It's incredibly easy to fix.
Supports. Like, don't show yourself in lanes on supports. One interesting but also very high level concept. If you're like an Earthshaker or a Centaur or any of these like Blink Initiate heroes that also sometimes like want to farm waves or have a good way of pushing a wave in, if you're pushing any wave, it's the mid wave. Like, you go and push the mid wave because one single mid wave of push will shove it into the enemy base. So that allows you to contribute by pushing waves, but also show for the least amount of time. That's something that I was actually recently taught that like a few months ago by my position 5 support player Husky. He like blew my mind by telling me that concept. It's like, oh fuck, that makes so much sense. Because like if you push a side lane, it takes 3 creep waves to push it to their base. You don't be showing for that long, but if you just go fissure mid, you don't need to show. You just fissure mid. You can push it in and do everything that you would want to accomplish by shoving a side lane. But in that situation, that is not really related, because what you were doing was literally just whacking a tower, which is not good. But if you do want to push waves and contribute in that way, and you're one of these heroes, mid wave. That's the wave that you want to do, and only one, because you don't need to push any more than that. It's not about the farm. It's not about the farm. It's not about the tower damage. It's about the creep wave. That's it.
Yep. And to that end, right here, again, you're showing you have Echo Slam. They are definitely being aggressive right now. If you don't show here, then you can set your team up for an opportunity to take a really big game-changing fight. But you're going to walk up and you're going to fissure this wave completely in vision when you have a bunch of other heroes that can do this. So they see you. They're not scared. They know exactly where the Earthshaker is, who's the entire initiation. And instead, if you're sitting in these trees, then your Storm can just zip on somebody and you can follow up and probably take a team fight and win. So, I mean, I can't express how important it is on specifically Blink Initiators or Blink Counter Initiators that if you are showing in the mid and late game, you're losing your team the game. It's that simple.
Well, there's like a certain archetype of hero, like Earthshaker, Enigma,
Magnus,
where if you can literally 1v5 a team fight almost no matter what. So it's so important to just play for those moments.
Yeah.
Like, never, ever, ever show, because other people who are way more worthless can do that, like CM. Like, you shouldn't be this far up here and showing and shit. Like, you've given your status away and they abuse it. And sure, like, you stop showing for a couple seconds there, but they know generally where you are because you gave them that information. You let them have that information. I think you actually have a really easy way to play this game. You have a Wraith King. That's the biggest moron hero ever. You just run in and he dies. The whole enemy team groups around him. Boom! Massive fucking Echo Slam 100% of the time. It is the easiest Earthshaker game ever if you're not showing.
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
Like 20,000, something like that.
100%. I think that's all that really needs to be said about this game. We saw the same mistake multiple times. Fix that, and your Earthshaker and just generally Blink Initiator gameplay will go up by a huge amount.
Yep. Agreed. Okay, let's see. Did I see one get deleted? No, I didn't. Okay. Dominic said, all right, I'll link this. Another Earthshaker. This is a good hero right now. We should make a video on Earthshaker, actually. So Dominic said, I played position 4 Earthshaker. Game was really hard against Brood and the gang. I'd love to improve and hear your advices. Park. Love you too, buddy. Turning my air conditioner on, by the way. It's kind of cold. They're kind of hot in here.
Word.
I have Smurfs. I don't have Smurfs. I have a single Smurf. I have like 100 games on it. 13,000 games. That's a lot. That's a lot of games of Dota that I've played.
Yeah. If I look at your Steam account, because you leave your account on all the time, you just leave your computer on.
I do. It's on right now.
Yeah, you've got 30,000 plus in your.
I have like way more hours than I do games.
Yeah.
Because of that, yeah. What was Jenkins' Warcraft account? Is that what you're asking? I didn't play Dota and Warcraft. I'm a huge video game addict though, so I have so many hours on Dota. All right, Brood Mother. Oh boy, you got brooded. Jesus, are you gonna send Windranger against Brood? Oh no! I can already tell you what the problem this game is.
Oh Jesus, you have like probably 3 of the worst lanes I've ever seen. You've got Broodmother against Windranger, most likely. You probably have a Monkey King against a Night Stalker or a Bloodseeker. Let's see how the lanings actually shake out. Because if you lane it in that way, I mean that's basically all that needs to be said about this game.
You're done. Yeah. Okay. So it's Bloodseeker versus Brood. I guess that's okay.
Sounds terrible to me. Sounds terrible to me as a Bloodseeker player.
I'm pretty sure Bloodseeker should get destroyed. But at least he has like AMP. It's really easy to fucking dodge.
Yeah. Super easy to dodge. Doesn't do enough damage to clear spiders. Yeah. Doesn't clear the spiders. It basically is completely useless.
Who's my main on Smash? I play King DDD. That's my main. I've been playing a little bit of Ganondorf lately. I'm a good Ganon.
Dwarf. What a dwarf.
Got something against dwarves?
Why are you still in the fountain 28 seconds into the game? Oh, okay, so you fissure and you walk back to fountain. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's fine. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it. I would TP in and fissure the next wave too.
Yeah.
Fissure it twice if you're doing that. I think that's cool. That's like an Enigma strat.
Yeah, especially because you're against a Monkey King.
What just happened? What's this QB thing? What am I watching with the QB? What am I watching with this?
He got the Quelling Blade for this guy and brought it to him.
He's right there. That is so much work for nothing. Alright, number 1, don't let people do that. Well, fuck, I guess if he gives it to you.
It's better than him using the courier for a Quelling Blade, which is what he was going to do.
Oh my god. What the... That's so much effort. Ooh, I like that you got the rune. Good shit, good shit. Fissure, whack him a little bit until you die. Alright, alright. Yeah. That's rough. You definitely don't want to trade with a Monkey King. I would say, like, with the DD, you want to trade with the Disruptor.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's just, like, a calculation thing. Like, I guess you just miscalculated that. But with Monkey King, generally, like, there's almost nothing you can do to trade with him effectively.
You trade at level 1. You trade at level 1, and that is the only time you trade with him in lane.
Maybe? I don't know. What do you mean? Like, if he has the stun at level 1, Monkey King... I don't think you trade with Monkey at level 1.
I mean, that's the only time you can trade with him feasibly. That's
I think you never trade with Monkey King. If something hurts his Jingu.
I would tend to agree, but I'm just saying, like, if you're going to trade with him, you can trade and kill him at level 1.
I think the lifesteal doubles at level 2 on that ability. Let me look.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
The point being, you can only trade with him before he has stun.
AFK though, that's pretty legit. Like on AFK for a little while.
I also feel like you should just leave the lane right now because your Night Stalker is in no danger, and the wave is right in front of his tower. So this is what you want. You've somehow managed to get the lane to where it wants to be in this particular scenario.
No, check the bot rune, I would say.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, fuck me, man. You can't pressure Brood at all. You can do zero pressure on Brood, but you can go get the bot rune.
You can stack for Bloodseeker. You can stack for yourself.
I was thinking also, like, maybe going to the top lane at a certain point is good because it's a Slark, and you could definitely pressure a Slark.
Yeah, I agree. I think that probably you hang out in the bottom lane until it's very close to nighttime. Maybe you try to secure the bottom bounties, and then you go top. Just because once Night Stalker gets nighttime, then he's fine. Probably.
Oh, I have an item build critique. People don't go Soul Ring anymore in Shaker. People just go Tranquil Boots, and then you send Clarities, and it's enough. Because of the mana talent at level 10, you don't need Soul Ring at all. Just Clarities is enough. Your Fissure's not important enough to warrant the use of anything other than Clarities. This is a good rotation. You can see that this is a lane that you can legitimately rotate to. And you did it around the 5-minute mark, so you're going to get the bounties, presumably. Push the lane in so you get the bounties. This is good shit. If you get the bounties, it's good shit. Also, definitely don't max Enchant Totem. That is certainly not the build. Get the bounties. Yeah, this is great so far. Other than the time you, like, fed the Monkey King. Like, your rotation You get the rune, which is exactly what I would have done when the lane is pushing in, and then you rotate top, which is exactly what I would have done. Not that what I would have done is absolutely correct, but you know, that's at least my opinion on the game. Is I think that's a good rotation.
I don't hate coming back here either. I think.
You're not gonna go mid.
Yeah.
So
this is one of those rare games where your gameplay is to go back and forth between the two side lanes. That's almost never what you want to do, but in this particular game, because you just don't want to deal with Brood mid until you have Echo Slam, that's pretty much your only option. But that means you have to make
What rank is this? What rank is this game? I gotta ask.
Archon/Ancient.
Huh. I'm very confused about this build. Like, I think your rotations are honestly like Immortal level. You're doing really good rotations, but your build is shit. Like, Soul Ring is worthless.
Legend 6.
Soul Ring is worthless with anything other than like Fissure build. People don't even do that. People just like rush the Blink Dagger, and then maxing the Enchant Totem just like doesn't accomplish anything. You're not gonna have any kill threat with it anyway, but you will have kill threat with. Okay, so you want another point in Fissure, which is okay. People will go like 2 points in Fissure now and then max Aftershock, but mostly people just max Aftershock and try to use it to like farm and get the blink as soon as possible. I mean, this is pretty good so far, though. Like, I gotta say, your play is really good.
Yeah, these rotations have been super on point. This is good.
Did they win this?
This is good foreplay.
Like, you're doing really good shit.
They did win.
Oh, they did win?
Yes.
Okay, so he probably won because you're doing good shit. That's the problem with submitting wins. Is that like you're doing good stuff. So I understand why you won, but I can't tell what it is that you are doing in other games that's losing you games.
Right.
Because
yeah, that is the biggest thing with submitting winning replays. Like, chances are, I mean, here's the thing. We've talked about this a number of times. There's always a spectrum of MMR at which you can play. And if you're a Legend 6 player, and you've been a Legend 6 player for a month, you probably have played several games as an Ancient 3 or 4 player, and you've also probably played several games as an Archon 5 or 6 player. That's your spectrum of MMR. And it averages to Legend 6 or whatever it is. So currently you're playing like an Ancient 4 or 5 player, and that's great. But who knows what happens when you play like an Archon, and because we can't see that, because you're not giving us a replay where you're playing poorly, it's harder to give you critiques. Because, you know, if you win a game, it's probably because you did a bunch of stuff correct. That's just how Dota works.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. A lot of people don't go over wins because it's really hard to see how things like would have panned out.
Yeah.
You know, if the enemy team was better, it's really hard to see that.
Right, because you don't know how they're going to react to your good plays, essentially, to outplay you. It's conceptually, it just doesn't really make sense to even think about it.
I mean, if you do the shit you're doing in this game every game, I think you'll be really high rated. Like, your rotations have been really solid. But once again, it's hard to assess like why you're making the rotations when I'm not seeing you fuck it up. I don't know if you went top for a really bad reason.
Right.
I don't know if you just didn't gank the Brood for like a really bad reason. Like, if you're not ganking Brood because you think Earthshaker shouldn't gank mid, like that's, you know, incorrect. But it's hard to see that. So you block the camp. Oh my god, you blocked the camp too. That's so good. That's so good. That is so good.
Yeah, this is good stuff. Anyway, I think we can move on. Like,
fuck, this is good. This is good. You played well. You played really well.
Guess I can give you a round of applause if that's what you want out of your replay review.
Okay.
Sure.
Dominic, I have homework for you. Submit the most embarrassing loss next time. I guarantee you it won't feel good, but I guarantee you will, a week after, feel a lot better about it.
Yeah.
It's also good to have some positive reinforcement, though. Like, I do have to say, you played very well in that game. I'm going to take a wild guess and say you don't spam Earthshaker, and if you did, you'd probably be really high rated. Maybe not really high, you know, not fucking top 100 or something, but you'd probably be immortal if you just spammed Earthshaker, because that was pretty damn good, other than the build.
All right, I'm changing the build. This is from Offlane Earthshaker, which is like old shit. So I'm going to change the build to just do Tranquil, Rushing, Blink. We'll do that as even the early game item so people understand that's the first item you should go.
Yeah, Blinks. People also do if you have like some other hero to like Blink counter initiate. Like if your Blink timing is not important, people will go for Phase Boots, Bottle, Aghanim Scepter.
Sure.
That's also decent, but that's like a that's like a totally different build for totally different reasons.
Yeah. All right. Do we have any more?
We got to hire John JCJ as a Dota Alchemy employee. Every time somebody asks about the replay, he's on point with
Patriot.
With
Patriot.
yeah.
We just need him to record like a soundboard. We can just like hit a key. You know?
He already does enough work, man. We already don't pay him for enough work. Fuck it.
Didn't there's a bunch of streamers who have like, hey, have you heard about Twitch Prime? And it's like a soundboard thing when people are like talking about that shit.
Nice.
Cheeky.
Yeah, that's a good one. Cause dude, I'm telling you, you talk about Twitch Prime and it's like X person has subscribed. X person has subscribed. It's like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yep.
You just have to talk about it, but then you feel bad because it's like you're basically asking for money.
Yeah.
And that never feels good.
It doesn't. That's why we don't do it. But hey, if you want to support the stream, DotaAlchemy.com. Just kidding.
Patreon.com/Dota Alchemy. Also, if you really want a personal coaching session from Donnie or I'll link it in the chat. Give me a second.
I haven't set mine up. I'm going to set mine up this weekend because I'm going to have a bunch of free time. So.
Okay. There you go. If you want a Janky Boy coaching session, there you go.
Support your boy.
I need to buy raw.
He's been very harassing of me about money. And I'm like, come on, dog. We're in this together, dog. And he's like, if you don't send me money, I'm gonna fucking cut you. It's like, whoa, man.
That is not even.
I know you just got a gun license, but you don't need to go around threatening people with your weapon.
Okay, you're gonna get my gun license revoked by saying that. You're gonna get me in trouble with the law. Not with Allah, with the law. I think Allah's cool with. That's sounding. I'm not gonna stay away from that topic. I was making a joke. It could have been any religion. It's not like a Muslim hate, Allah hate thing. It could have been anything. It's like a wordplay thing. It sounds the same. All right, get away from this subject. Holy shit. Any like touchy subject, man. I'm like a white guy. I can't.
You're not allowed to say anything.
Yeah.
Another Earthshaker game, huh?
Salam, brother.
Salam alaikum.
Dude, I gotta say, all right. Actually, this is gonna sound racist. I gotta say, okay, this isn't racist. This is positive, so it's not racist. I gotta say, I went to school with a lot of people that were Muslim. They're fucking chill, man. They're really chill. Like nothing gets to them. I don't know why. Just for some reason, nothing seems to get to them. Like they're so chill. What is with that?
Unless you're Turtle, in which case you just tilt your face off every game.
No, Turtle's chill. Other than in Dota, Turtle's like he's like smoking on his what is it called?
Vape.
What's the vape? Yeah, he's vaping. He's got like the like smart person beard. Like he looks like B9. He looks like he's like reading philosophy books and shit. He's not, but he looks like it.
Anyway, good shit.
Unless it comes to pork, then they're not chill at all. They really hate pork.
Sure.
Oh my god. Let me tell you something, dude. I had a friend named Awesome. That was actually his name. His name was Awesome. He's from Pakistan.
ASIM, probably.
Yeah. And he's Muslim. And we went to like Eastside Mario's. And so he's been living in Canada for like a year and a bit. So he's not like super familiar with the restaurants and shit. So it's his first time going to Eastside Mario's, and he's sitting there like fucking enjoying the free salad that you get, and it was Caesar. It was Caesar salad. It had bacon bits in it, and he's just like, oh my god, does this have bacon in it? And like the look on his face, fuck man, I wanted to lie to him. I wanted to be like, nah, dude, keep eating. But I felt like that was way more fucked up. And he just spits it all out. He goes to the bathroom, like washes out his mouth. It's like, shit, dude.
Oh no!
I totally forgot. I totally forgot. He's just like enjoying like the free Caesar. They make good salad at Eastside Mars. Like that's a mediocre restaurant, but the bread and salad, that's good shit.
Fissure the Wave. You've got a Pangolier. He needs a couple levels.
Bacon bits aren't actually bacon. That's true. That's true.
Salty byproducts. Jenkins, you're just a salty byproduct of Canada.
Okay. All right. Dude, I'm not used to seeing the original, like the original fissure icon. You never see that.
This is still... Oh, it is, isn't it?
The original one.
Yeah, but fissure the Wave. You can go do this after you fissure the Wave.
Yeah. Well, what are you doing?
Blocking the camp.
Oh yeah, definitely go for that.
You gonna pull the Wave though?
I would be a little careful about that ward sentry placement, just because they could. I don't think you need to pull the Wave with an Earthshaker, but I mean it's fine. It's better than not. It's better than not doing it.
You could just fissure the Wave instead, right?
Oh my god, this guy came back and farmed with you. Okay, if your idiot comes back and farms it with you, you want to go like fuck with the CK under tower, like fissure him so that he doesn't get last hits. Like you don't want to just both be farming it. This happens all the time for me too.
It's just amazing that people don't understand this concept. Nobody understands this concept. How do we make people understand this concept in the Dota community? Is it possible?
Like years has to pass where people are doing it. It's
amazing. I don't think I've ever seen a replay review where somebody pulls the Wave and the person doesn't come back.
It's like the thing that I can compare it to in Dota is like when somebody picks up a bounty rune from somebody who has a bottle and like keeps taking bounty runes as if like the person who picks it up gets the money. It's like, dude, you realize that it's better for both of us if I fill up my bottle and we just get the same money.
But my quest for Jungle Jam.
Oh my god. It's the same thing where you have this guy who's just like fucking you over and thinks that he's contributing.
Right.
All right, you go back to base or you kill yourself.
Just leave. Go back to base.
Getting that haste rune top is definitely legit. Like while you definitely can't gank mid though. It's a timber. You get that haste and you come back top. I would say you want to tango while you're doing this, so that way you're regenning. So when you do come back top,
you have health to work with. Yep.
You have HP. Like you could have a tango going this entire time.
You could almost even just use this haste rune to go back to the fountain and refill.
Yeah, that's actually fine as well. That's definitely fine as well. So you're just like chain pulling. You have a Pango. Yeah, I don't think you played this lane. I think this is like relatively correct.
Yeah, I agree. Just double the wave and then maybe go bottom and look for kills there.
No, I just mean like the idea of not playing this lane.
Yes.
One-on-one, like because it's like a Pango Earthshaker versus CK Witch Doctor. I think CK Witch Doctor should win that.
Yeah, agreed. So
double the wave for Pango. And now what I would do is I would go do something else.
Go bot. That's the lane you could actually kill. Like pick up some dust and go kill this Ricky. If you kill the Ricky like 3 or 4 times in the lane, game's over. You can't do anything.
Yeah, dust. I would smoke myself to get to the lane faster. It's not like anybody uses them anyway.
Yep. Yeah, you could buy a windlace, you could buy a smoke, and you could buy a dust. Or no, you don't have enough. So maybe just buy a smoke and dust. Smoke, dust, sentry, and go to the bottom lane. That's what I would do. Your Pango should be fine. If your Pango is unhappy with the situation, double wave coming into him, then he's a moron, and you should definitely not go back to this lane. You've already got this lane in a good spot.
You won the lane for him. You already won the lane for him.
Don't come back here. You're about to lose the lane. You're about to lose the lane for him by coming back to this lane that you've won the lane for.
Pango's like Enchantress. Like you would prefer to be solo, honestly, and get solo XP because they just need XP and then they're fine.
Here's a good question, chat. What should Pango be doing while Shaker farms that wave that he pulled behind the tower?
Bullying CK under tower and like trying to deny, and then cutting, and then getting the next wave.
Yep, there you go. Simple.
You just like usually what you want to do is you want to have the hero who's the best at like bullying and fucking with somebody under tower doing that, and then a hero who is the best at like cutting the wave doing that. Like I saw this one lane where it's like Shadow Shaman plus I don't know Shaker or something, and then the Shadow Shaman cut the wave, and the Shaker was playing the lane.
It's not good.
It's like you have a Shadow Shaman. He can just deny every creep under tower, so why not do that, Like, have the guy who's good at doing the cut. Have the guy that's good with fucking... In this lane, there's no particular hero who's better at either. So you should just have whoever cuts just takes the XP, and then the other hero fucks with them under tower. But if this guy comes back to steal your XP, then yeah, you should just go Fisher under tower.
Yeah, but this move right here, this is legitimately terrible. This is really bad. Coming back to this lane that you've already won for your Pango and leeching his experience. You have so many better things that you could be doing right now. I mean, I would like to see you go to the bottom lane and get kills on this Ricky, but barring that, you can even kind of just like sit around the mid lane, make sure you get these runes, and just fissure this guy when he tries to kill your Kunkka under tower. Even that is better than doing what you're doing right now. Because if you can make this Timbersaw's lane even remotely more difficult, there's a pretty good chance that you save your Kunkka from tilting out of this game and just giving up.
I'm not a huge fan of playing to the Timber lane in general, though. Like, I mean,
I agree. I don't think it's
whether
good.
Whether or not Kunkka dies, he's still gonna lose this. He's still gonna have the same shit happen in the lane.
No, but here's the thing. This is the point I'm trying to make. It's not even good to go to the Timbers lane, but it's still better than sitting here and soaking experience from your Kunkka.
Yeah, you're just stealing XP. You're just stealing XP at this point.
Yeah.
A guy that is XP dependent.
Yeah.
Like, you won your core of the lane. You did the support job. You played very well and won the lane.
Yeah.
But then you lost it for him.
Yes.
In fact, like, because you're here, he plays more aggressively when he should just be, like, soaking XP.
And he also is a level below the CK. He should be level 4 before the CK is level 4, if you let him get solo experience.
The thing is, like, you can hold your TP, and if they dive him, then you TP in.
Right. You walk to this lane holding the TP so you can respond to the other lanes. That's the whole play. I mean, you should be murdering this lane if an Earthshaker's down here.
Yeah, Wyvern Sven, that's a heavy kill lane.
Yep.
You can definitely play to this lane very easily. But playing to top is legit hard until Pango's 6.
Yep. Yeah, and they get 3 bounties out of it because you're not playing the lane that you should be. So this game is just going much worse than it needs to be, and I would say it's mostly your fault because of your rotations back to the lane that you've already won.
Honestly, up until like 3 to 4 minutes, you played almost perfectly.
Agreed.
You played so well. You
Agreed.
played so well, but then one little decision, like you could have turned the tide on the bot lane, and then also that would give your Pango the level 6 really quickly, and then you'd be winning the bot lane and the top lane at that point because of your play.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, bot lane fed because it's 2 people down there instead of 3. And top lane, you guys fed because it doesn't really matter if there's 2 people up there and your your Pangolier could have solo XP.
Yep. Yeah, I completely agree. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be said about this, to be honest.
Yeah, 3k gold lead at 6 minutes is pretty hard.
All right.
Okay, so we're out of non-repeat replays.
Okay, and we're at 2.5 hours. Do you want to go more, or how are you feeling?
Up to you, man. Up to you.
How many non-repeats do we have?
So, Jayori, Justin Ash, Hawkillionaire. Let me see. Yeah, Hawkillionaire, Justin Ash, Jayori. That's it. 3.
Okay, I mean, that's another like 45 minutes. So I'm going to say no. Instead, what we should do is we should draw the winner of our free coaching session from Patreon that we have as one of the rewards of just being a patron. This is the Orifex.
We'll do a drawing right now is what you're saying?
Yeah, Orifex Academy. So if you're not aware, one of the benefits of being a patron, thanks to Orifex, who is in chat, John Callahan, what a god.
Fucking JCJ, dude.
One of our members, one of our mods.
One of the best people. What a heart that guy has, man.
Yeah, and what he said basically is he wants He's been one of our highest tier patrons, and he said that he wants to continue to support us, but pass it on, pay it forward. He's gonna buy a coaching session basically from both of us for one patron every month. Doesn't matter what tier you are, you're entered in just by being a patron. So we're gonna draw that here live so you guys can, see it enacted, and that person will win a coaching session, an hour-long coaching session from both of us.
He's making me laugh in chat. Yeah. So how do we do the draw? Is there something on Patreon that we can do?
Yeah, I'm just finding our patron list, and then
do we just do like a random
random.org? Just put it all in like a.
Oh, you have a list? Okay, cool.
Yeah, we'll just get a list.
We should keep track of who it is so we can like cycle through everybody.
Agreed.
Sort of thing.
Why can't I clear this filter? Give me one
It's
second.
a coaching session with both of us at once, by the way. So, be prepared to have a fucking massive pounding headache by the end of it.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Also, it's live. So, if you don't want to do that, then yeah, that's fine. We get it. We get it. Some people don't like that.
Dude, I can't clear the filter for some reason. All right, give me a second. Jenkins, entertain them. Here, we'll go watch Pain Gaming versus Complexity. You could talk about the game.
Oh, okay, all right.
And I'll figure this out real quick.
Sure. Are you sure you're screen sharing? Oh, you are. Okay. Let me load it up on my.
And I'm gonna follow the Juggernaut.
Don't follow Jug. That's so boring.
You want to follow Batrider? Z-Freak?
Follow Batrider.
Z-Freak Batrider.
Yeah. Zach. Ooh, look at the bots Blink gem build. Damn, really committing to that map control build. I love this bots first on Batrider, man. You can just play every lane. Dangerous place that needs to be shoved out. Don't worry, guys. I'll get it. And also be able to TP to fights and be immortal. Wow, they just lost everybody. How does that even happen? I'm assuming there's a diffusal on Jug and they Omni/Medusa. Jug's actually one of the better heroes against Medusa. Surprisingly.
Why is that?
Since they changed the way that his ultimate works, that it applies auto attacks at like an increased rate. Before it was like you would auto attack, but just because Jug was just hitting while Omni/Slashing, which is stupid. But now it's like he literally just hits faster. So it scales really well with his... Donnie, you're putting Patreon in front.
Hold on, I can't put this anywhere else because it doesn't.
You're putting in like the private information.
No, I'm not streaming this part. I'm I'm streaming the game, so you're the only one that can see that because you're.
Oh, okay, got you. All right, so I'm watching.
Yeah, it's just not reactive enough for me to see.
Sure, okay.
I'm not that stupid.
Voice of an angel. Oh my god. I cannot sing. I can rap. But I only do that in the car alone.
Okay, here we go.
At night, with the car not driving. Like I just sit in the car and rap. That's just what I do. Damn, look at all these Medusa illusions. So many deuces.
Deucer.
That's right. The Jug does have a diffusal blade. In fact, he has a shitload of items. Dude, I played with Miracle quite a bit in pubs. Oh, Miracle, sorry. He's fucking good, man. He's really good. Like, he's got a really good idea of how to play the game, and he's such a good captain.
He's been playing Dota for a long fucking time, hasn't he?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. He's been in the game for a long-ass time.
I hope so. That gives me hope that you can be in this game for a long time and, eventually make it to a solid team. Because he's been kind of on the cusp for a long time, I think. And Complexity is his first, solid tier 1.5 team that he's been on. Maybe there's a couple in SEA he's been in and out of, but you know how SEA is. You have, some random boom ID show up to a tournament, and then the next one, it's I don't know, some random other team. Yep.
All right, here we go. We're going to do the random. We're going to We're gonna
Let's
figure out.
fucking go, dude. Let's go.
What the fuck?
Donnie, for fuck's sake, you are just a total disaster.
I need a producer, so maybe one day we'll have enough money to pay a producer to do this shit.
Oh, wouldn't that be awesome? That'd be so cool. Holy shit.
Okay, so the winner of the very first Orifex Academy sponsored coaching session as a patron is going to be Quentin. Quentin is the patron. We'll send you an email. We'll send you a message on Patreon.
Quentin?
Yep.
What's his ID?
Like that is his ID. Is Quentin.
Do you have the Discord?
I don't have the Discord. I just have Quentin.
Congratulations, Quentin.
That was very anticlimactic. But yeah, we'll send you a message. You got a double coaching session. Congratulations. Thanks as always to Orifex.
And all the patrons. Don't forget them.
We're gonna make you a better Dota player, hopefully. And it's gonna be all Orifex's fault. Or rather,
and a worse
his influence.
person.
Exactly.
Live on stream.
It's gonna be great. Yeah, we will be streaming the coaching session so you guys can see it. All right. With that being said, is there anything you want to say to anybody else? Any words of advice? Streaming. Put that link in chat so people can go there right now from our chat. Watch Jenkins stream. High immoral gameplay, questionable morals, but that's what you get.
Does that work?
It does.
That link works.
All right. Thanks as always for tuning in. Thanks for all the support. The replays reset after this week, so everybody feel free to submit starting next week. And we very much appreciate you guys for tuning in, spending all this time with us. Have a good weekend, and we will see you later.